getting dicey.
All right. Yeah, things are going to be quite different in this session, just for the fact that the training montage has begun. You have sort of put out a big list of the armies that you are hoping to put together and what kind of strength they might have by the end of this training. You know that Strahd is also putting something into plan, as he claims he is going to, in his words, raise Barovia to the ground in search for his Tatiana.
He's got nothing.
Yesterday, in Barovian terms, you brought the Dusk Elves back to the church, and you discussed everyone's training on where everyone was going to be. There was talk about setting up sort of training in the city centre, I believe, was one of the things that was thought about. Is that still the case?
Well, yeah, because I don't know if it's actually happening, but I think the plan was to make some sort of barricades because we heard zombies were going to walk out of the lake from the north. So people can build barricades and then do training behind them. I guess the barricades are the first thing.
Right. And I mean, this all takes time. So on the first morning of training, their word goes out to a bunch of the more capable to start building barricades at the northern gates, as well as the others. But your main concern for now are those northern gates. And so, yeah, a bunch of people start getting together bits of wood and however they can. It does mean parts
Same
of
day. This isn't ringing true.
there's some urgency.
Sorry, boy. Up till Christmas.
There's a lot of a gathering of woods. There's a lot of planning for what these barricades are going to look like. It may not be much starting of the building, but the planning absolutely is being put into place. In general, the day is a relatively quiet day. There's not a lot of threats. It's not even raining today. There's no rain there's a break in the weather, and there's a few other things are happening. Obviously, there's word that there's going to be a major sort of lockdown within Vallaki. The idea of bringing everybody into Vallaki.
Here come the protesters.
That won't be popular.
Voices for freedom, sure.
The Vista brothers are going to be leading a protest in the park.
Oh gosh, the misinformation campaign begins.
I only had the new mayor 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Already.
It's very tense. There's a lot of the people, the villagers of Vallaki, they're quite tense, but they're spreading word that you want to be within the walls, and that there's talk of how are we going to make sure that there's no one on the outskirts, and trying to follow up with family and friends just to make sure that no one goes anywhere and figuring out where everybody is. And then, like I said, the work on the barricades is starting to be planned for all of the different entrances, as well as going around the outskirts of Vallaki to make sure that any holes in the walls get repaired, that everything is in top condition. Another thing that happens on that first day is that there is an introduction of the Dusk Elves to the giant spiders. Obviously, there was the plan of having these Dusk Elves riding into battle on these spiders, and this is the first moment where, well, Mirakin, why don't you talk to me or tell us as a group, what is that? What is that moment? What does that look like?
Okay. I'm going to roll a d4 to see which season we're in. I rolled a 2, which is autumn. Seems to be a pretty common roll for me. So she's going to have tenderness in her voice and a lovingness for the spiders. She's going to describe them affectionately and explain to the Dusk Elves and show them her use of poison and how she can command the spiders and how they're not to be feared, but they are wild and basically solemnly teach them a respect for these creatures and attempt to use her animal handling skills to foster some kind of understanding between them.
Yeah, and how does it go? How does that first moment in your mind go between these dusk elves? If you don't mind me putting it on you, it'd be nice to get some storytelling from you on this one.
It goes exceptionally, and they all level up immediately about 5 levels.
All right, I'll detail this one instead.
Now, I imagine they're very trepidatious and cautious, but they are motivated by the anger for their fallen comrade. They are eager to grasp some power and enact a revenge on those who have brought them so low, and they are eager to prove themselves as worthy in battle. So I think that moves them and motivates them a lot.
The Dusk Elves haven't been up this close with giant spiders that haven't meant them harm. So this is also just a little bit of that kind of any experience they have had has normally been in defense of their life. So there is that uncertainty. They know you. You've already introduced them to Ran Zen as well, so they know that you've got like a connection to spiders, especially being an elven druid. There's a bit of hesitation, I think, as those introductions kind of happen back and forth. You already know that these giant spiders are pretty. They move quite quickly and quite a jerky motion, and as you know. When you first got them on board, they were even sort of tempting fate by grabbing your legs and stuff, just tapping them with their feet and making you feel a bit uncomfortable about especially after having fought their queen in this battle of domination. And so there's a few hours of this back and forth with the dwarves. There's a few of them. Dwarves. The Dusk Elves. Sorry. Some of them feel pretty uncertain about it. It might take a wee while for all of them to really warm to it. There's a want and there's a drive to go forward with this plan. But it's all. Some of them are just like, this is actually terrifying. They're pretty scary. So after a few hours of this back and forth and trying to show the Dusk Elves what you've been working on with these spiders, you call it a day. And you think it's probably best to reintroduce them again tomorrow, and probably very regularly until there's some comfort.
Yeah.
Before moving on to whatever else you'd like to have planned with them.
I think it would be wise to give them good berries as well. Train the animals with treats.
Right. For like the Dusk Elves, the ones handing the treats.
Give the Dusk Elves dusk berries to feed to the spiders.
Okay.
Dusk berries.
Dusk berries.
You
said dusk berries.
Good berries.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. They definitely like some of them on that first day. Some of them are just like, I'm not putting my hands anywhere near the mandibles of these spiders. A couple of them are a little more braver and are more happy to go about it, and they're like really excited about it when they realize that there is a bond already growing so soon between the ones brave enough to hand out the good berries. So it's semi-successful. You've got maybe a quarter of the Dusk Elves have really stood up to join in and take part of that feeding. Some of the others are maybe another half of them have gotten close enough to sort of bridge 3 feet between them and one of a spider. And then there's like a quarter of them, like 3 of them, that are just like, maybe tomorrow. This is really off-putting and strange.
Any Dusk Elves eaten?
Luckily, Americans in the most patient form, the most patient season, and she accepts their hesitance with patience and grace.
Something else that happens, obviously, quite early on in the day is that the were-ravens have been sent off as well into all different parts of Barovia. You've got a small group that have been sent off to Kretsk just to sort of inform Dmitry what's happening here in Vallaki and to hopefully confirm that there's some sort of resistance growing there that may join you, hopefully. Another group has gone to the winery to call back some of their family bring them away from the winery and back into Vallaki. Another group has been sent off to the village of Barovia to help rouse the group there, try and speed them up and let them know they need to get to Vallaki as soon as possible. And the new information that if they don't, there's a chance that Strahd will show up and wipe everyone out. The stakes have been raised. The last group of were-ravens have been sent off to Argynvosthold, just to check up on the progress with the revenants, to see how many have been created so far, how many have been summoned, and what the progress is looking like. They've been sent off, and by the end of the first day, none of them have returned yet. But you expect this process to be a relatively long process. So this is a bit of a look at how we're going to run through day to day what this training might look like. If there are things that you want your characters to do day to day, now would be a great idea to let me know what they're going to be doing, how often they're going to be doing it, and what the result is, the expected result is going to be after doing it for an X amount of time. So, start with you, Morley. What's something during this training period? We don't know at this point how long this training period is going to last, or how many days it's going to take. The only sort of cues or clues that we have to the length of this training is the revenants have told us, look, if you give us 2 weeks, we can get you an army of 30. But we also have this unknown timing of when is Strahd going to attack. We don't know what size that's going to be, how long it's going to take for him to accrue whatever it is he's doing, and we don't know when that's going to occur. So you may have the 2 weeks, you may not. So in your training time, what would you like Morley to be doing?
I'd say there's three things. One is I want to finish off that book that I've been reading. Mm-hmm. It was like there was some insinuation that. Why is that funny? I haven't even begun to detail.
Because without the context of the book, it just sounds like you're reading a novel for fun.
Yeah. Before I die, I'd like to finish this book.
Yeah.
Quite good.
The new Dostoevsky. Really got to on me.
What was the book?
It was the book that I found in the Amber Temple. It was beneath. It had a false bottom on that chest that was there. And I feel like there was insinuation that there was some wisdom to be gained. Yeah,
it's the Tome of Understanding is what Morley's been dipping in and out of over the last few days.
Like, if anyone needs to be reading that, it's me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds like a self-help book, doesn't it?
Yeah. My cheese.
Yeah, and you've how many hours have we said that you've sort of put together into that so far? I think we've said you've put about 20... I actually can't remember. Maybe 20 hours of reading into that book.
I was reading it nights, and it was like, I think... So if a long rest is 8 hours, then I've read it 3 nights, I think.
Right. And probably only most of that is sleeping, so there's been sort of...
For this guy.
Not for this guy.
Audio book.
So if you're wanting to, he's just been putting it on while he's walking. If you spend a few hours every day over the next 4 days, we'll make it 5 over the next 5 days. You'll have completed this book. So if you put in just a couple of hours every day for the next 5 days.
Well, I'd put in more than a couple of hours. I want to be, Sunday.
Oh, this is one of Morley's main focuses?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. With the train, so one of the other things that all of you are individually doing is, like Mirakin was doing today, you're spending time with different armies and helping them grow and helping them understand a bit more about how to fight and any sort of wisdom that you might have. So a lot of your day is taken up helping others grow. So,
right.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like Morley, but I'll take your word for it. He's been down the driving range most days.
Yeah.
Okay, so read the book. I definitely want to help. There was a portion of my time that I wanted to dedicate to helping Irina with her bowmanship.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess, well, we did say I was going to be working closest with the Ravenfolk, but if they're off on missions, I guess I won't really be doing that.
For this first day, they are. So they might free up a little bit of your time on the first day for other activities.
Yeah, I guess I want to make some targets, and my aim has not exactly been what you'd call Robin Hood like throughout this campaign.
Yeah.
And I'd love to be just practicing, sort of like turning around and whipping out the crossbow and just firing off bolt after bolt to try and get my accuracy up.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to spend a little bit of time just working on your accuracy. That's cool. We'll say with 3 days of reading, since you're going to be putting a bit more of a priority on that, your book will be done. So on day 4, I'll make a note of that. I've got a little bit of a note of different days and what's going to occur. Morley finishes his book.
Jumps straight on Goodreads.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Baron, what do you think during this training the Baron's going to be focusing on?
Well, I want to get some sort of decent swords and bows and arrows for my skeletons, which I may have up to 12.
Right. Okay.
And I want them to be out there helping build barricades. They can do that tirelessly, really.
Right. How do the skeletons have a distance from you that they need to be, or is it you can just send them off anywhere you like?
Only for me to give them commands, I think.
Okay. So they obviously
So I'd have to go
need to be
back
able
out
to hear
then.
you. Yeah.
I'd have to go out and see them and
Like the
just
foreman.
make sure they're not... Yeah. they're not having an extended smoker or something. And they can just be building the barricades. I could build something else. Maybe we want like some giant war siege engine or something like that. I don't know.
They might take a while to build.
That might take a little bit more know-how, right?
Yeah, it'll
very
take
smart.
know-how, it'll take longer to build, and will take
It'll be like-
resources and time away from other things.
Yeah, okay, all right.
It totally can be done. It's about where
What-
the priority is, yeah?
Yeah, it'd be like a skeleton version of it, so it would be, pretty useless. Okay,
Have you got
I might-
spells as well that...
Huh?
Obviously, one of the... like adding spells to your spell book.
Yeah, although I think I'm okay
Okay.
for the spells, I think. But I would like to talk to Casimir and Patrina
Oh, yeah?
about and suss out what their abilities are, and I heard some of the rest of the party not so sure about Patrina, which I thought was a bit rude, but I might try and ascertain for myself if she is all on board with killing Strahd.
Right. Well, so if you want, we can absolutely slip that. Is that something that, like, day 1 of training, Baron's like that focused on that, or is that something that just over the next few days you want to? There's like an end. Like, if you want to suss out Patrina, is that like a couple of days of observation and talking, or are you just hoping to? Like, what are you wanting to get?
Well,
from
yeah, I
her?
think I'd send my skeletons off to do their things, and I would have a bit of a wizard boot camp, maybe.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
have maybe we'll sit in the tent and smoke different herbs.
That sounds like a boot camp, alright. We sit around and get wasted. Boot camp, bro.
A wizard boot camp, wizardy, like magic smoke, colored smoke.
Right.
Jong's boot camp. Yeah.
So you just form like a little wizard circle in the fart hut and talk about abilities
You
and.
do the dance.
I think the first session, the day 1 session is like reintroducing everybody to each other. There's like everything's been going.
Everyone
everything's-
forming a circle and
yeah.
passing
Look,
the
a
smoke
lot
around.
has happened in the last few
We're
weeks.
like falling back into each other's arms, like doing the
Trust
trust.
falls. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what you're thinking?
But yeah. There's like
Yeah,
trying
each
to-
person has to say 3 nice persons about the next person in the circle. and
Yeah.
such.
And you'll start with the obvious stuff, the real basic level stuff. A little bit about yourself, and Casimir painstakingly details. You already know his past because he's told you about it so much, and it's involved his sister, and it's a very
Captain Bring Down over here.
it's kind of awkward a little bit.
Uncomfortable.
And Patrina.
Yeah. Stoned her to death. Yeah.
Yeah. Patrina quickly moves it from Casimir over to you. She doesn't want to talk about her quite yet, and wants to know a bit more about you.
She's trying to skip herself.
There wasn't an agreed turn order, but she clearly steered it from finishing Casimir and moving it over to you, Baron. And yeah, it felt a little bit abrupt, like.
Oh, so like I'm not getting any. It feels like you're not being open with me, Patrina. You're not like sharing your feelings.
Yeah.
She
Detecting a bit of evasiveness, Patrina. Do you want to talk about that?
I just want to know a little bit more about you first, Brian.
I'm an open book. I just let her know how vacant I am and vapid. And everybody knows this.
Yeah. Do you detail any of your pre-Barovia life to her and some of your...
My baggage.
Yeah, your escapades.
Yeah. Well, I tell her about how I used to hang out at a cafe quite a lot and read books.
Oh, she'll be on the edge of her seat, won't she?
Yeah. And used to hang out in the graveyard.
Every little minute little detail that you tell her, she's clearly interested in. She's like loving all of these little details.
She's into you, bro. This shit is boring, and she would not be into it unless she was into you.
Can you give me an insight roll?
Insights.
Yeah.
Insight. Yes. I've got a +0 on that.
Nice.
That's a bit shit. Oh, what? There's no rolling.
What?
Hold on, I'll just roll on this thing. The beyond 20 thing's not showing up. So here's a D20. A 1.
A 1? A 1. All right.
This is my classic insight.
Devil's lettuce he's been smoking.
With the through the haze inside the hut, you note Patrina's interest in everything you're saying, and there's a little thought at the back of your head, which is, I think she might be into me. Like it's like, holy shit, this is. And whether the Baron likes that or not is different. That's up to you to decide. I'm not going to decide that.
Yeah,
for
that
you.
might be the. Yeah, I'm confused because I rolled a 1.
Yeah. And she just keeps asking more questions about your childhood. And after a wee while, you sort of wrap up the session and you all leave the hut to go on with the other little bits and pieces that you're helping about in Vallaki. But you realize, like maybe an hour later, that wait a second, like Patrina didn't say anything about her past. She managed to completely avoid saying anything and put all of the focus on you. So maybe the next session will be for...
It'll be a session, all right. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Murican, how's Murican's... Obviously, we've got in day 1, we've obviously got this nice interaction between the spiders and the Dusk Elves. But moving forward over the training, possibly weeks, what is Murican's focus going to be on? Other than obviously the Dusk Elves, but you're welcome to detail that as well.
Well, as she always is changing seasons, it varies on day to day the type of attitude she brings to the table. I like to think, though, that each day she sits down next to the preserved bodies of Ismark and Savid and talks to them about what's happening, speaks to them as if they were still there, with hope in her heart that maybe a miracle will occur and they'll be able to come back in some form. But
nice.
On summer days, she speaks with anger and aggression about how she wishes to rip Strahd's throat out, pluck out his eyeballs, and throw his body into the grasping thorns. And on winter days, she speaks with bitterness and fear in her heart. On spring days, there's almost a touch of whimsy, as if it's all just a dream. And on autumn days, there's a bit more acceptance, and she speaks with great love of her companions, seeing them work hard, seeing all the progress everyone's making. She's very proud, and she She looks on her dead friends with great compassion and wishes in her heart to bring them back.
If you don't already have inspiration, I want to give you inspiration for that, because that was awesome. I love that that's something that you're building into every day of American's life during this training. I think that's awesome.
And put the rest of us to shame. Oh, what do you do, Morley? Oh, read a book. What about you, Karen? Oh, smoke some grass.
I got wasted in a hut.
No. This is also good. I also think it would be prudent to cast divination once a day and ask the spirits whether Strahd will attack us tomorrow.
That's
because
good.
There's always that fear for our unpredictable fate.
The first. So, and that costs you every time. Is that right?
Yeah, it does require an offering of 25 gold pieces worth of stuff.
You guys have got like hundreds of gold pieces, right?
We can just pillage the village.
I'm out.
Bill puts a collection plate around the church.
Oh yeah,
It's all going to the morning
That's
lord.
Not
I think.
a bad idea.
the tithe.
You actually don't, on that first day, you don't make enough, so you'll have to utilize some of your own. There's first of all, there's not a lot of people in the church on this first day, and they've also don't have a lot of money, so it's just money is not something that the people of Barovia have a lot of. But by following days, they start bringing things that they own to you instead of literal currency, in the hopes that the worth of those items is enough to help. By the third or fourth day, you're no longer dipping into your own coffers to pay for the divination. On the first day of divination, you sit down and you do you want to detail what it is you do?
I'll do it in the church where it's safe. I'll burn some incense and get out the crystal ball, hoping I don't offend the Morning Lord with this, but I'm not calling on him. I'm calling on Sehanine Moonbow, and I think the Dusk Owls would be very interested to see this as well, since it's their god.
There's like a couple that are really, really interested, especially the one that dreamed, like previously had visions given to him. He's very interested in being a part of this, and he even offers up. He mentions that they didn't give them much, but he managed to take a few things with him as they left the camp, and he hopes that they're of some worth, and he hands you some small trinkets that seem to mean a lot to him.
Right. Okay, well, we offer them up together and beseech Sehanine Moonbow to reach out to us. I've put the spell in the chat. So we ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply in the form of a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. So we're going to ask whether Strahd will attack us tomorrow or in the next 24 hours. What do you guys think? The phrasing is probably pretty important, right? Do you think that's the best question to ask?
I'm trying to not cheap out, but I am trying to cheap out. It's the next 7 days, right?
So you can ask for a specific activity to occur within the next 7 days.
But if we ask for will he attack us within the next week? That's that's not very helpful, is it? Right? Wouldn't it be better to cast it every day?
Would you? Well, you could do a 7-day forecast, and then if it says yes, and then you go, okay, will it be tomorrow, or or would it be? Will it be the next
narrowing
3
it
days?
down.
But,
we could do that. We could start with the next 7 days and then winnow it down.
Can you only do it once per day?
So you can cast it multiple times, but if you cast it 2 or more times before your next long rest, it starts getting less accurate, basically. So I'll just put that it's basically the GM makes a roll and it starts getting more and more possible that you won't get a truthful result.
I think if it says, if you do it to see that over the next week, and it says yes, you will be attacked, then we definitely need to say will be attacked in the next 24 hours, and then if it says
but that
yes,
second reading is unknown.
I know.
Well, I mean, there's a chance it'll be incorrect for the
I
second
see.
reading.
Yeah, second.
A 25% chance it'll be false. But I think that's still a good strategy.
Maybe.
I think your plan is better, Joe.
Just cast it every day knowing that it's fully truthful. Okay, well, we'll just do that then.
And then you could, if they do say yes, you could say, yeah, they're going to attack from the north. Or,
Yeah, and then maybe get a non-truthful response.
Yeah. A 25% chance that it goes.
Chance. I would literally just roll
from the north.
I'd roll a d4. If I rolled a 1 and you won't know what I roll, I will tell a lie.
Yeah, scary.
So the question.
Yes, what do we say? Shall we say, will Strahd and his forces attack us within the next 24 hours? Is that sort of the key question?
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay, we say that.
Okay.
Day one. Yes, absolutely. You're fucked.
The response that you get back mentions troubles heading towards Vallaki tomorrow. While it won't be Strahd, the undead move forward.
Oh, dear.
Well,
Do you want to message Strahd and just see if the offer's still good to leave forever?
There's a range on message, unfortunately.
well, we know Strahd. Strahd revealed some of his hand to us. He's described where his forces are, and they may be moving on us.
Yeah, American,
so we have an idea of the direction.
You're instantly reminded of Strahd's wording about having zombies in the lake, and vampires in the woods.
The problem is there's so many woods.
Yeah, woods is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're surrounded by woods, so
Correct.
And thus surrounded by vampires and zombies.
Yeah, there's like every tree has a few vampires in it.
Every tree is a vampire.
What?
Oh no!
What's like that Golthius stuff? That's like it was a vampire tree, wasn't it?
What?
Sure. Why not?
Wasn't
Kinda. Something along those lines.
Very similar.
It's been a long time.
Golthius tree.
Vampire or a leech. Something that sucks blood.
Anyway,
American.
we must prepare.
Is there anything
we are going to be besieged.
Is there anything that you're going to be focusing on for yourself for American?
Well, I do have some spells that could help us in a siege situation.
Oh, yeah.
So I would prepare those for
Okay.
if we are to do battle with the undead and try to protect the city tomorrow. We have to be prepared.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd be just talking to everyone, and I want to know what Bill's got, because if we're going to be attacked by undead, this is definitely his domain with all of his, like, the holy stuff he's been focusing on, so I don't want to miss what Bill's doing.
Well, let's move on
And
to Bill.
Irina, weren't we going to train her as a paladin?
Is that what the agreement
Paladins are
was?
so annoying, though, aren't they?
Are they?
Not this one. She's great.
Oh, no.
She's chill.
Yeah, she's cool.
Oh,
She's
okay.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Women can be paladins too, Brian.
Yeah, maybe
what
you've
I was
only just met
getting
the male ones, and they're the worst.
I've only experienced one paladin, and I agree.
Okay.
But let's move on to Bill. Bill, what's happening with Bill during this training?
So you said that most of the followers aren't at the church yet? Day one?
Day one, there's a small congregation that is sort of working under the abbot and Father Lucian, but there's a lot of uncertainty about whether people feel that they have the ability to do wonders and connect with the Morning Lord in such mystical and magical ways.
So with this small congregation, I'll address them and say, well, thank you all for coming here. I can sense there's trepidation, and in the conversations I've had this morning, people seem to be concerned that they may not even be able to connect with the Morning Lord. I've come here to share my experience with you, which is that I'm not even of these lands, and the Morning Lord reached out to me in my time of need and really has helped shape the role I play here and how much I care for all of you here in Barovia. And I will say that you can have him in your heart, and he will respond. And there are no two better people than these two behind me, gesturing to Lucian and the abbot, to lead you through that journey.
Give me a either just a flat charisma roll or a persuasion roll.
Oh, I'm definitely going persuasion.
Cool.
Oh, sorry, take the first one.
Yeah, cool.
20, so 10 plus 14, 24.
Nice. You get a there's the whole room, the whole church goes quiet before claps slowly start building up, and everyone's like shouting out towards the Morning Lord, and there seems to be this like building up a furor, not a furor, not like but a furor.
Hail, Bill.
Fuck you up, Bill.
Building up, and they're like turning further. There we go. Building up, and they're nudging each other, and they're getting very excited. And the end of the
Morning Lord.
end of the day's congregation, you hear a lot of them leaving, very excited about tomorrow and how they're going to talk to their friends about joining in, for the ones that may not be strong enough to help out on the front line with weaponry, maybe not able to help out with building up some of these barracks, but they might have the minds, not the bodies, to really take on this the clerical side of things. So
I just imagine Father Lucian after that speech kind of steps down with a swagger in his step and says, "Thank you, Brother Bill. Can I get an amen?"
It's canon. That happens. That absolutely happens. The one thing throughout this training, though, it doesn't click with everyone. There are people who come and go. They join in. They don't. Maybe they just don't believe enough. They don't get that feeling, or maybe they're just not chosen by the Morning Lord to help. And so you see a lot of people coming and going, and then later on in the week you might see them working on the barracks or practicing with pikes and swords instead. So you get a lot of people in the church and out of the church in that time. But throughout that time, there are like a select few of people who are really just getting it, and they are more than happy to start talking to you and the abbot and Father Lucian, not just on different techniques that they can utilize and spells that they can learn, but they want to know more about the Morning Lord. They want to embody the Morning Lord. They start fashioning little trinkets to wear on them as well that symbolize the Morning Lord. And you're starting to, over that time, build up this quite fervent crew of clerics. Is there anything that else for build over the period?
There's a few more things actually.
Cool.
So I sent you asked us last time for some cantrips and spells.
Oh yeah.
So I've just pinged you on Discord those.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you want to take us through them?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
please.
So cantrips. So we had like a few cleric cantrips and a few cleric spells. So cantrips, guidance, which is a small buff to a check of some kind. I think it can apply to attack or skill checks off the top of my head. There's resistance, which is gives a willing creature resistance to a type of damage. So I think you have to specify like bludgeoning, slashing, or whatever. And spare the dying, which I thought was cool flavor wise. So if somebody is how does that work again? It's not. I think it's if they are on 0 health, spare the dying stabilizes them. It doesn't like bring them back or anything, but it means that they're not doing death rolls.
Oh, right. No effect on undead or constructs. You touch a
Oh,
living
not
creature that has 0.
SPEAR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a coup de grace.
What?
It's not.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
stab the dome with the spear. Okay, it's
And they need to be able
SPEAR.
to touch them as well, so they'll have to run out into
Yeah.
the field and touch them to stabilize. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
I imagine
risky, but
they're like
good.
combat medics,
Yeah.
kind of like helping out, making
Okay.
people, hopefully protecting people where they can with resistance and stuff, and
Yeah, perfect.
guidance and whatnot. And then they've got a few first level spells as well.
Okay.
So the first one is protection from evil and good, which gives the target resistance to a bunch of stuff if it's an evil or good being.
Like fiends and undead and
Yeah, fiends and undead and things fit into that.
pick.
So they'll probably be picking undead a lot of the time, unless there's a bunch of demons. Cure wounds, just the classic.
Mm-hmm.
And turn undead. Now it's actually a cleric feature, like it's their channel divinity. But I thought it was like the thing that fit the best flavor wise.
Perfect. I'll
Turn
allow it. That
undead.
sounds
So
great.
that makes them run away, or
They become undead, hopefully. Is that what it is,
No,
Bill?
it makes them run away.
Right.
Oh,
And is
that
there
would be
a
very good.
what is the how does it work? Is it just automatically work, or what's the deal?
I think there's a save for it.
Ah, right.
Or you could put a save on if it's
Yeah. Let's just have a quick look at it. If I can find it quickly. Channel divinity, turn undead. As an action, you present your holy symbol, speak a prayer. Any undead that sees you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. Okay, cool. And it's turned for a minute. A minute is a
Yeah,
long
is it
time
just-
when you're doing it turn by turn, but a minute when you're not really dealing in turns is not that long of a turn, but it can help. Absolutely can help.
Yeah, I imagine they'd use it if there's like maybe the odds are against one of the frontline fighters or something, and they're just trying to like get rid of one to help them out for a while.
Yeah.
Try to use it tactically, because I can't imagine that they're going to have like a million spell slots either. So
Right. That's true. I'm just having a quick look.
and I think it's only one.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's each undead
It's
that can
each that can hear
or
you.
see.
So placing these clerics in certain areas will be very important, I guess.
Yeah, like spreading them out. I
we
guess.
we also need to like educate the townsfolk on everything we've learned about the undead as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely a given. There will be parts of all of this training where as much knowledge as you have is
Seminars.
nightly
Yeah.
seminars about the different undead that you know of and their weaknesses and everything that you know about them and how to
Yeah.
fight
We could
them.
each take a class. Yeah, now this sucker here, you want to hit these ones twice in the knees.
American, you can do one
but-
about your spiders and call it a webinar.
That's
Sorry.
great.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. They're all awfully punny, just to keep people engaged. You know?
Yeah, people love
Yeah.
fun.
I imagine Baron's like got one of his skeletons there, and he's like pointing at it with a wand, like, and here you'll see the rib cage, right, like a xylophone.
Like trying to point out, don't kill these skeletons, but there may be
Yeah.
other skeletons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
we'll
not
get a
wearing
uniform
a
for
hat.
Baron's one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it like on Pokemon, like they all get a bandana.
Yeah.
What else?
With their
What else?
name
help them
embroidered
apart.
on it.
I like that. That's pretty good. Oh, sorry. What else?
Sorry,
for
and the
Bill?
other so the other thing that I was gonna do is go up to the barracks and just inspect their crafts. Just make sure that they're doing an alright job.
Where does he think he is?
This is be your
And I
main.
think I come across, so I'm walking the wall one day, and I come across them putting in spikes,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
and the spike, they're hammering a flat bit in with the spike, and then they start sharpening it. And I'm like, start sharpening the open end, and I'm like, that's how they get them in without making them blunt. Genius. I start writing notes down.
Oh, they
Make
sharpen it
them
afterwards?
pointy afterwards.
I don't know.
Brilliant.
I'm just making it.
Oh, what a master carpenter.
No, it does make sense.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I was like, how did they do that? And I'm also stopping by sort of the ones who have given up on learning the ways of the clergy. I'm going to stop in with them as well. Give them some combat tips. I imagine Morley's probably near there somewhere, acting as master at arms, and also shooting targets. But at each of these places, importantly, I'm practicing new material. And it's a bit rough.
Getting your fast five sorted.
But they're all captive, right? Like they can't really go anywhere. They have to listen. And I'm just kind of listening and getting feedback and being like, okay, I'll come back tomorrow with something slightly different.
The problem is
or jokes.
The problem is you're so charismatic that you're not really sure what is and isn't working because they're loving every bit of it. Even when you stop and you just talk to someone one-on-one, they're loving it like it's part of you doing your thing.
All right. So the feedback I'm getting is like, that was the best thing I've ever heard every day.
Every day from everybody.
That feels great.
That is, in a way, it's the curse.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Being so attractive that you never receive critical feedback.
Paul McCartney said something quite similar to that.
Did he?
He said at the height of Beatlemania, he said they couldn't hear themselves play, so they didn't know if they were getting any better or not, or they couldn't hear each other. They didn't know if they were doing a shit job or not because everyone was just drowning out the music.
Is it like Beatlemania in Zarovich?
Yeah.
People just fainting and
I think there is a
screaming.
little bit of that going on. There are some people who keep showing up at the church that are clearly not getting any better with the clerical stuff, that are just there to see Bill, and they're following him
Is
around.
there like a Bill fan club, and is there like people have made buttons and shirts and stuff like that with Bill's face on?
Yeah, there's even that awkward moment where like Bill will be walking across a field and someone will throw their shirt over like a muddy puddle to make sure Bill doesn't have to like stand directly in the puddle.
I quite like that.
There's a lot
I don't think that's awkward at all.
There's a lot of adoration for Bill, from men, from women. It's all over the place. There's a lot of adoration. Don't get me wrong.
Greg has got a pin.
Don't get me wrong, the
Bill pin.
rest of you have fans too. Like, you guys are heroes. You guys are leading this thing. It's you're all very much heroes. But it's definitely weighted in Bill's favour here, for sure.
So like the seminars that we're doing at night, my one is just like packed. Like we've had to get extra space. We're actually doing it in the town square instead of in the pub.
Yeah, the first couple of nights.
Arena kind of thing.
And you can't hear Bill speaking. It's just screaming.
Meanwhile, in a scout hall down the road, Morley's got an empty sailing course. We don't understand it.
You've got like the Blue Water Inn is like packed from day one. People standing up on like the mezzanine floor looking down as well.
It's like them playing at the cave. So
I've just had word from management that mezzanine won't support that many people. So some of you are gonna have to come down lest it actually crack. Thank you.
660.
And then the last thing that I want to do.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
As I see Baron and Petrina one time talking, and I just kind of, I just whisper some words of advice to Baron. I just say, "Interested is interesting, Baron. Interested is interesting."
Interested is interesting. I don't understand. I don't get it. But I roll another one. And interested is interesting. No, there's separate words, Bill. Separate words.
I just face palm.
He thinks you're trying to correct your grammar, like. Bill.
From now on,
I
he's
thought you
going
were
around.
better with words than this.
Baron's going around telling people how interested they are from here on in now. Oh, you're very interested.
Yeah, every time I see Petrina, I'm kind of like, looking distrustfully her way, trying to analyze her actions. I don't trust her.
Well, let's. Is there anything else from the group? I think we've covered everything. The sort of a bit of a lay of the land for the other people in the wider group. Irina is obviously really darting between the church for some of the more clerical focused stuff, some of the more Healy kind of side of things, spiritual stuff, and then disappearing out into a training with swords and bows and stuff as well. So she's trying to get like a widespread to be as helpful as possible. Every time she walks out of that church, she feels the unease of leaving the safety of the bones. The bones.
I'd like to think Morley's always kind of. He wants to know where she is and not got it. So like a controlling point.
Yeah. If she
Where were
doesn't
you?
text
Where were
him
you,
back,
Irina? Where were you?
Oh, yeah, forget
Whatever,
it.
you're not even hot.
Sorry. He wants to know that she's safe.
yeah. We'll always have someone with her, like
Go to the church to
making
kind of
sure
pick her up
she's
and
safe.
take her to the archery
She
range.
understands. She understands, but she wishes there was an alternate option here. Something.
Oh, we all love, but we got to
Yeah.
live in reality.
Yeah.
Well, I thought nobody wants to make that exoskeleton out of the bones for her, right?
Ask her if she wants
Say
it.
what?
We're
Yeah,
going to
do
turn
you
into
wanna-
a warrior
yeah.
mech made of holy bones.
Yeah, like
Right.
it's an endoskeleton becoming an exoskeleton on this outside of her, like
Right.
armor made out of the bones of Saint Andril. Is it Andril? Is it a Pokemon?
So when
Yeah.
it's not impossible, I don't think. When the bones were removed previously and then put back into their storage underneath the church, Father Lucian did have to do some sort of spell. to-
Reconsecrate them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Why don't we
Alright.
make her a tasteful necklace out of the bones, if possible?
I was thinking a full body suit.
Possible.
It's gonna look shit. It's gonna look like it's like some bodgy costume job that your mum's
Wait,
done when
may
she
I
didn't
do
really
it?
know that school costume day was today, and she's just rushed something the night before.
She's got
Which
an
happened to me.
angel's skull on top of her head. And... Is that what you think?
Backwards.
I imagine you would forge it into armor, right? You'd like attach it to armor, like the
Yeah.
rib cage wrapped around a breastplate kind of style. It would
Yeah.
it could look fucking badass.
I mean, that's
Yes.
it's
Thank
definitely
you,
something
thank
that
you,
could
Ben.
possibly maybe there's over the first week there is like the conversations with Lucian about what I know you don't want us talking about these bones, but what can we do with them? Obviously, the bones aren't going to save all of Vallaki if Strahd comes through here, so maybe it's time we utilize these for something else. And there's like a real uncertainty from Lucian from this in the first few days. But I think he starts coming around with the idea of experimenting with their usage.
Could we grind them into a powder and then
Snort them.
Make bread. Snort them.
let's do the most useless, sacrilegious thing possible?
Yeah.
Patrina and Casimir are doing a lot of their own training as well as in the Wizard Hut. There's a lot of joining Baron for the Wizard Hut, as well as a lot of looking through spells and sort of taking a look at Baron's spell book as well, and seeing if there's means for them to grow stronger. Patrina has an interest in your spell book, because you've got a couple of books with you, right? Or, no, maybe. Yeah, she's obviously got a big interest in your spell book, and even though you know her spell book is leagues ahead of yours, in fact, the times that you have looked at it,
I'll admit it.
you're almost 100% certain she is a much more powerful wizard than you, but she's never had the chance to show you. She hasn't shown you the abilities yet.
Yeah.
So there's
And
definitely.
now she's got like a 9th level spell.
She does. I believe she does. Which I'm not sure what level that would make her, but that would make her a very, very high level spell.
Like fucking level 20 or something crazy.
Is the Lich here as well?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will say that she's not a 20th level spellcaster. But to have a 9th level spell, she's got to be pretty damn close to that.
Yeah, it's way up there, like 17 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like 18.
17.
Stop me when I'm close.
Then, and who else have we got? We've got Van Richten, and we've got Esmeralda.
What do you mean we've got Van Richten? What do you mean by that?
As in,
We've collected. It's like Pokemon.
he's part of your wider group now.
Is he?
You've talked to him about what happened at the camp, the Vistani camp. He really, really wanted the proof. It's like you met behind, like in the stables behind the Blue Water Inn. Like secretly, he takes off his hat. He's like shows to him to be Van Richten again, and he's wanting to know where's the proof that what was his name? Aragel, not Aragel, the other guy.
Lavash?
Lavash has been taken care of.
He's been taken fucking care of, all right. You call him, it'll be ringing off every time because he ain't picking up.
You want to snort some bones? We got some right here.
We got some ashes for you, man.
Yeah.
Can I get a persuasion roll from you, Morley?
Absolutely.
I only picked you because you were the most vocal right now. That's purely the only reason.
That's a 17 plus 6 for 23.
Okay, you paint like an amazing picture of the events that went down
Didn't know you could paint.
at the Vistani camp.
Colour.
Obviously, the Dusk Elves being here with you in Vallaki sort of help that story.
Go on, ask one of them. That guy was in the hut. He's seen him.
Oh yeah, there was one, and he having recalled like what happened, kind of goes a little green. He's just like, I've never seen.
Just like the light that came out of Dan's gob.
He's like,
when
I've never seen anything like it. It was terrifying. I haven't quite trusted being near that wizard ever since. It's just like the absolute fear from the power. And Van Richten is swayed on the story. He absolutely believes it.
Fucking should be.
And
Yeah, you can't. He don't. The Dusk Elf isn't exactly going to be able to act turning green.
yeah.
That's pretty persuasive.
What's his natural tinge?
Kind of
Elf.
dusky. Just
Dusky.
yeah.
Okay.
Grayish, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of a greyish colour. Who else we got? Esmeralda. But it's really strange. Esmeralda and Van Richten, they meet up every night at the Blue Water Inn to sort of talk and try and repair some of the damage to their friendship. But it never seems to stick. They always finish each of their interactions in this argument about the past. And they go off in their separate ways. And you don't see a lot of Esmeralda throughout the days. She seems to be focusing on her own training. She dares go out of the walls and comes back with kills of dire wolves and sort of things just to try and keep herself practiced.
Match fit.
What was that?
Just to keep herself match fit.
Match fit.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's match?
Absolutely fucking cretins.
And I think that's probably it as far as all of your crew and their whereabouts.
Greg?
Oh, okay. So yes, Greg is
Nah, we
probably. Greg is probably. Look, it's important. It is important. Greg has, ever since the new burgomaster was announced, there's been the city guard have come back together. You may remember there was only a few of them sort of bothering with the job when no one was in charge. Now that the burgomaster has been named, a lot of them have come back in. There's been some swapping as well. Ones that kind of gave up, got kicked off to the side, and new people have been recruited in. And there's been a group of 8 or 9 that have been going out on just little voyages, just maybe a few hundred meters outside of the walls, just to check for people. And they've come back each time safely. And this is where we're going to wrap up day 1. Day 1 is over. We're not going to spend every day going through details as we have, that's why I've tried to cover what you'd be doing over the extended period. But with day 2, the dawning of day 2, the same group of guards that has been popping out looking for people that may have strayed out, trying to make sure that everybody is accounted for, head off in the morning north towards the lake. There's been rumors that there was maybe a family that had still been out near the lake that hadn't come back in yet. And so a group of them head off. Now, each of you are going to sort of take control of a guard and one of their buddies. So there's going to be eight guards heading out this morning. So let me drop you off at Lake Zarovich.
Does one of us get to be Greg?
One of you does get to be Greg. If there's a volunteer for that, you can absolutely volunteer yourself. Otherwise,
I think we should roll for Greg. Roll for Greg.
Roll for Grey.
So otherwise, I roll a d4, and 1 will be American, 2 will be Baron, 3 will be Morley, and 4 will be Bill. Unless we have a volunteer. All right, we're rolling.
Oh, we gotta roll.
I've rolled a 2, so the Baron gets to control Greg.
It was a close one.
Okay.
It was a 3. I withdraw my long sword and shove it through my hat.
The guards, I've color coded them just so you can sort of see who you're going to be controlling. So let's say American, you can control the red guards. Morley, you can control the green guards. Baron, the blue guards, and Bill, the orange guards. So feel free to take the persona of one guard, and that it can issue orders to the buddy, or if you don't want to put on voices, if you don't want to role play these guards, that's also okay. You just tell me what it is that you're wanting to do. But these guards have sent out to this lake in search of any that may have still been loitering out here. Maybe it was fishing, maybe it was out on the boats. And as they make their way out to this lake, they are met just with the sight of this sort of fog sitting on top of the lake. There are the sounds of birds and insects around the lake, and just a gentle lapping of the water on the edge of the lake. Way off in the distance behind the lake, emerging out of the fog, is this forested mountain, and there's these guards they all know about the story of this mad. The wizard that fought Strahd and went crazy was supposedly in those mountains off behind there. And they start just investigating the whereabouts of anybody in this lake. I can move it over to Greg, who might be leading this group, being the longest running guard in Vallaki for quite some time.
All right. So he talks. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
That's so Greg.
That's so Greg.
Buddies. We've got the buddy system going on currently. And so if you get lost in the fog, make sure to hold your buddy's hand just in case. And we'll all meet back here. Now.
All right, thanks, Greg.
They all just talk like Greg. This is great.
All right,
Hi,
Greg.
boss.
You're my hero, Greg.
It's nice to be holding your hand. Oh, but it's not foggy yet, so maybe if it gets foggy. Now, should we call out or prod about in the sand looking for people?
Oh, I don't know, Greg. What would you suggest there? I'm not much of a beachgoer myself.
I come down here sometimes to fish.
Oh,
And
I'm not aware of that.
should go with me sometime. Now,
I'd love to.
Aw. Can I come?
of course,
Absolutely.
Oh.
More the merrier.
That's all.
we might even catch something.
Is this going how you thought it would?
Oh.
This is about what I was hoping for, to be honest.
Oh, no, we're getting distracted. Watch out for undead now. They might be around here anywhere.
We have
Oh, is that
heard warning.
That's a rock.
Oh no! Oh no, it's just a tree. Where about that, Greg?
Get your swords ready. If you do see any skeletons or zombies, tell me. We'll have a discussion about it, and possibly we'll do something about it.
Right, so a little bit of backstory about all of the guards that you are playing as at the moment. You're all equipped with a long pike. You've all sort of gone out in case there's wolves that attack. You've each killed multiple wolves before. That's part and parcel of living in Vallaki. So you've got a bit of that experience with taking down wolves of all different sizes, right? Maybe a few of you have come down, like Greg said, to do some fishing in the past. The last thing that you really know that went down here was this horrible, this horrific story of how Bluto, the beloved town drunkard, trying to like the realization that he was like dropping kids into this lake and murdering them is just a horrific thing that he'd be doing, and something that you can't believe could happen here in the happiest of places.
Well, yeah. Very uncharacteristic of...
Yeah.
So we would have probably been warned by the adventuring party that the divination has shown that there may be some undead forces coming towards the town, yeah?
Correct. Yeah. I believe this is why.
So we'll be on high alert, right?
That's why there's this urgency of making sure that there's no one out here. You guys are the brave ones to venture out, make sure everyone is away from this lake and back within the Vallakian walls.
We're evacuating the area.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the lakefront, the only thing, now that you're standing there, here again, the fog sort of resting on the surface of the lake. It's still quite early morning at this moment. You've got a few boats off to the left that belong to, it's kind of just like anyone can use them. Socialist boats. They're for anyone. They're free to use.
Socialism.
Socialism in Barovia?
Just for the boats.
Communal boats.
Just for the boats.
Obama boat.
I pull myself up by me bootstrap and get my own boat. I worked hard to buy me boat, I did. We don't want anyone else using it for free.
Oh, Greg.
Bottom feeders.
But Greg, can you give me an investigation roll?
Right. I'll just roll a 20. Yeah.
Oh, if you should have in your roll 20 journal, you should have a guard.
Nope.
Oh.
You don't?
Gate guard.
Yeah, gate guard.
I don't have
Just
that.
under player characters, or?
We don't have a stat block.
It's under monsters, right at the bottom. Oh my god, my character's a monster.
You guys, you don't have the stat.
What did he do?
Okay. No, that's right. I thought
so right. Greg is a monster. Greg is a monster.
I thought that you guys might have.
There, it's canon. Greg is a monster.
Kill him the minute he gets back. We're chopping his fucking head off.
All right, I'll give you the. What are we going to do? We're doing investigation. So what is that? That's wisdom. It's wisdom, right? Or intelligence. It's a +0. So just give me
Investigation's intelligence.
Yeah. So give me just a D20.
Each of us?
-5.
Oh, yeah, why don't each of you give me and sort of explain where you and your buddy are heading to investigate?
Greg will head up towards just straight ahead to the lake shore and then look left and right. Careful not to get
And what
wet
did
feet.
you roll?
I got a 5.
Right.
Okay.
What's my character's name?
Well, you can absolutely
name.
You can name your character for sure.
I don't know if I'll be able to come up with something as creative as Greg.
What about Craig?
Craig.
What?
You know how Americans say Craig is Craig? It could be Greg and Craig.
Yeah. I'll call him Craig.
Craig.
Craig and his buddy rolled an 18 and they're going to head off to the west.
All right, you should now have the ability to move your each of your tokens as well as bringing up their character sheet. You should be able to do that now.
Ooh.
Hello there.
Hello there.
I got to
Not
try.
you, Greg.
I got to try and remember which color everyone was now. I didn't think that.
Gate
one through.
guard.
I'm pointing out like sticks and rocks and I'm like, don't worry, that's not an undead. That's just a rock. And that's just a stick. I'm very acutely aware of whether things are rocks or not.
Yeah. Which
That was
direction?
a skull.
Which direction have you gone off into, Johanna?
West.
You've gone west. Yeah.
Please address me by my correct name. Craig. What's it, Craig?
Craig, sorry. Craig.
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 Sorry.
I thought it was Craig.
Oh, that's even better.
Craig. It's Shrek.
My buddies are
Shrek.
Craig and Crick.
Oh, Craig and
That's
Crick.
why they hang
Okay.
out so much.
That's why they're best
Craig and
buddies.
Crick. They always say they're inseparable.
They like Crick heard that the other one's name was Craig and was just like, that's so close to my own name. We're thick as thieves, we are, aren't we?
Oh, it's Greg's authentic voice, like a dagger through my heart.
Yeah, you head off to the west and you're doing like Crick is poking things with the pike, little rocks and sticks and stuff, and you're heading off towards the boats to investigate, like the boats off to the west. And with a roll of 18 plus 0, you don't really find anything. There's some footprints that are relatively fresh, but they're leading back south towards the city, and some other footprints which are just cracks. That's just he's found his own footprints there on the sand.
He's so talented.
It turns out he was walking backwards. Somehow.
Baron, where's Greg and his friend headed off?
Graham,
Greg and Graham?
which in America is pronounced Graham.
Greg and Graham?
Greg and Graham.
Yeah.
They are going to. They've gone up to the shore, and then I guess they're going to go northwest towards these boats.
Oh, okay, cool. And what have you
Let's
rolled?
check out these boats.
You've rolled a 5.
Excellent.
They're not really looking for stuff. They're just taking in the scenery. This is a bit more of like a they've been out here before. It's not really.
It's quite nice.
The Greg I know.
Greg is kind of just expecting everybody else to be doing the work. He's now that he's like the leader of this group of guards.
Complacent.
Oh. Greg's got great work ethic. I feel like this is
just
a real
trust
heel turn.
I trust you guys. Maybe do
Well, see, because he's such a good guy. He doesn't want to outshine his.
He's not a
buddies,
micromanager.
that's why.
I'm a macro manager.
So Adam, what have we got? Who's your group?
I'm going with Griff and Biff down here.
How should we rename them?
Settings. Down to settings.
Griffin
Cog.
Biff. Perfect. What are they investigating after the
Griff's he's heading down that way, down the shoreline there, and he thinks he's seen a fish. I thought he saw a fish
What did
jump
they
out.
roll?
We rolled a 13.
With a roll of a 13, he did see a fish. Griff absolutely.
I told you I saw that fish, didn't I?
Oh, I've never seen one.
Biff
Never
is kind
seen a
of
fish before.
Biff is investigating like the tree line, just to looking into the trees on the other side. But he's interested in this fish that Griff is pointing out for sure.
What's going on in these trees here? I wonder. I wonder what's going on in these trees. Look up the top of the tree. I think I see a nest up there.
And with a roll of a 13, he totally saw a nest.
Oh my god! It must be some baby birds up there. I think.
And Bill, what are your group? What's your group doing?
So I've got Ian and Jeff.
Ian and Jeff. Okay, cool.
Oh, this place gives me the creeps, Jeff. Oh, I know, Ian. All those kids. I'm not moving. Not moving any closer to that water. I'll tell you that much.
Great, perfect.
We can watch the back.
Yeah, great. Ian and Jeff just sitting back, watching as the others disperse out towards the water and head off east and west.
We'll keep an eye out for wolves, Greg.
And with a roll of a 7, they're not keeping an eye
Alright.
out for much, to be honest. They're looking around a little
I'll
bit.
keep my eye right open. Looking for wolves.
Ian looks over his shoulder because he thinks he hears something. Doesn't see anything moving. Looks back out towards the water, and then it moves. That's how not paying concentration he is. There's nothing harmless, just like a little animal. But he's.
Did you see the fish out here, Jeff? Did you see the fish I saw?
I don't want to get nowhere near that water.
As-
You're missing out.
as the guards all disperse out across the sort of entranceway to this lake, the sounds of the birds and the insects that have been keeping you company as you've been investigating just cut completely, just stop. and the fog that's just
weird.
The fog that's just been resting on that lake slowly starts to rise, and starts seeping out towards the shore of the lake as well. And even the sound of the water that's been sort of consistent stops, and the fog rises up so suddenly and so quickly that visibility starts getting quite low, and the silhouettes of your compatriots is all you really see in the light of the fog now.
Remember your buddy system, everybody.
Crick, take my hand.
Was that you, Biff? Oh,
Remember, you hold your partner's hand.
The sound
I've lost my partner. I have.
the sound of the water, the lapping water stops, but what you're hearing now is a different sound coming from the water, and that is the sound of the water surface breaking, and it's just like the sound of a boat, what sounds like the sound of boats heading towards the shore, but you're looking out into the fog covered lake and see nothing, and the sound of that breaking water turns slowly into the sound of soft groans and the wet sound of feet hitting the lakeside.
Oh no! Oh no!
And
Who's gone for a paddle then?
Hello.
Who's gone for a battle is the perfect place that we're going to stop the podcast as well when we get to the editing.
Forever.
Yeah, but we'll take our break. Here.
What's good about these new characters is that they're all so distinct and they are so different to each other. Is the real strength. Like, you want a diverse party, and I think we've achieved that.
Yes.
That couldn't have gone better. I'll be honest. That couldn't have gone better.
I just was looking. I was like, I wonder if there's any like filters. I'm like, this one.
Wurzel. That's what you're looking for. That's your key word.
Oh,
whoa.
That's
I don't think that was the one you were looking for.
Futuristic.
That was not. I'm going to try and find a really dumb looking filter though.
Right.
The preview of that one was promising, but
So what we've got: Craig, Greg, Graham, Biff, Griff, Ian, and Jeff. That's great.
when you say it all together, that's pretty good.
We need one of those. We need one of those shirts where it's just like the white shirt with the black names.
Yes. And the entourage one, right?
Yeah. What are you putting on, Joe? That's not working.
Oh, I think it's just frozen.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sure it was great.
Like to control. It was such a great filter that it broke the entire program.
Yeah.
Country bumpkin, Somerset. That's what you've got there.
Oh, it was so good hearing each
Down
of
the
you
old
put on
Vintage
your
Plough
great
Festival
voice.
this weekend, Graham.
So
Vintage
good.
ploughing.
I'm looking forward to this fishing trip now. Oh wait, it just loaded, didn't it?
Big thank you to Random Origins who have resubscribed for his 42nd month. 42
Whoa.
months of supporting us, which is just awesome. Thank you so much for that.
And get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon. He's come down with COVID, unfortunately, which sucks. So hopefully it's not kicking your ass, and I hope you just get like a nice mild version. That sucks, really sucks.
Yeah.
But keep your ear out on our Discord because hopefully his audiobook will be dropping soon. Hopefully soon, which would be awesome. Starring myself as the voice and narrator, and voice of all characters, and the narrator of the book, which was a super awesome experience. Way harder than I thought it would be, but honestly, I think it sounds legit. I think it sounds really good. And Random's really happy with it. The recording studio we did it at, he was really happy with it as well. So I think he was he was like, okay, so someone who's not done an audiobook coming in to do an audiobook, this is going to be interesting. But he ended up really liking it. So that's great.
Where can you get a hold of this audiobook?
When it drops, it'll be anywhere and everywhere that you can get audiobooks. So it'll be on, I think you'll be able to listen to it on Spotify. You'll be able to listen to it on Audible. Everywhere that has audiobooks.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Cool. You're famous.
It's pretty
Now, does this look like a crick to you?
A crick and or Craig. It does. It does actually.
Yeah, it's quite
Yeah.
good.
I think
That's
that's.
a-
My
Good
nose keeps
3D.
growing. It's been non-stop since I was but knee high.
I'll see if there are any other ones, but that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What
There's
happened to
also-
Manrican?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
whoa. That's
that's-
weird.
This is not.
That's very elven, though, isn't it? Elvish? Elven? Oh, that's good.
I'm thinking the first one so far,
Yeah, the
but
first one was good.
yeah.
I'll say thank you to JF Lover as well for giving us a follow. Thank you for that. And people have been unlocking cards again, which is great. It's nice to have that up and running again, which is an overlay over the stream now instead of a little panel. Oh, you look cheeky. Oh, okay, not anymore.
These are so busted. I could make
those
better
are.
ones than this. If you'd just
Well-
warned me, I would have been playing Crick.
Once, yeah, well, I'm sorry. I didn't want it to. I wanted it to be a nice little surprise. Just trying a little
No,
something
no,
different.
I'm
for-
kidding. I'm kidding.
A little different. And Waffles is in the chat, just with a reminder that we're all beautiful people. Who's the most beautiful, Waffles? You are. So don't forget that. Thank you so much for always being here week in, week out with saying lovely, beautiful things like that. Thank you. And Waffles has given us a question of the week. I'll let you hear it since you're the only one still here, Joe. Which is, I don't know why I saw your name written in the Roll20 as Johanna, and that's why I was like, I ended up using Johanna instead of just Joe. It was weird for me as well. Waffles' question is, if you had to play as one NPC, who would you play and why is it Greg? Oh, that was weird. That was like a subscribe. We can throw up a subscribe.
Yeah, some bullcrap. Well, some bullcrap filter loading up. First of all, it would be Greg because he's got a heart of gold and nothing but good intentions. He's charming, and yeah, he's a man of the people. And the second is, I really like the way you play. What's her name? Patrina.
yeah.
Because she's just so cold and calculating seeming and condescending. And I just think she is a complex character.
But you'd like to play as...
It would be fun to play as... I wouldn't want to play as someone long term like that. But I like the way you play her, so...
Yeah.
I just like how
like
she calls
Patrina.
Baron Byram little man.
That was like once, but it was nice. It was with affection. Squished is mentioning Sildar because he's so passive aggressive. Sildar is just me. Sildar was just me
No, he's not.
through and through.
I'm going to try out some noses. Don't be too disturbed, but I'm just going to find the
Right,
perfect
right.
Greg in the meantime.
Also, just showing off for anyone who is interested. Check out that. It's such a. That's. Okay, that's Craig. That's Craig for sure. I need that to be Craig.
Oh, he's hideous. Favorite?
What the fuck have I come back to? That is...
Reagan's like, yes, that's Craig.
Don't worry, she just took off the filter, her American filter. That's just how Joe looks.
I'm just trying on some looks for what Craig could possibly be like. Well, that's kind of cute.
That's a cute one. That can't be Craig. That's too
Kind of
cute.
cute. No, that's a little gnome type.
Yeah.
Oh, we all know how you guys love fucking gnomes.
Oof.
That's also a gnome. Favorite?
Oh,
no,
cheeky.
this is not a Craig. Subtle. No, these are all gnomish. I need to go back to the original. No.
There was one that was really good. What are you talking about? Whoa.
Oh.
Got a bit of a shake happening.
No.
That's amazing.
Whoa.
Wait.
Whoa, that
We
one.
need that one was perfect.
It's like Tengu. Oh my god, it's so 3D.
Yeah, it looks super 3D.
Snapchat has improved like crazy. It didn't used to be like that.
That actually looks like it's sticking out of my monitor. That was weird. It was great.
Yeah. These are pretty bad, most of them,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Ooh. Hello.
They're not good.
That's good.
No.
Is that a filthy little moustache? Oh, that's great.
All right, there we go.
Now that.
I see everything.
Well, Yeah. No, these are all trash.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Except
Okay,
that
I'm
one.
done.
That one is fantastic.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
That one is actually.
This is
good.
Greg. This is, I think,
There was another one that was great.
Greg. Let me find it. Yeah.
I feel like there was one that was like spot on.
You loved this
That one,
which
I
is
fucking
horrific.
love that one. That is.
It's
if that's
horrific.
if that's not Craig, I don't know what is.
And then there's that, and that, and that.
It gives you like a little Buffon.
Buffon.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does
It
too.
does. Distorting my
That's
hair. Stylish. Alright. Which one?
They're all good.
I vote
They
for
are
this
all-
one.
Yeah, they're all so good.
I think
That's the
this-
problem.
This is Greg. No, Crick. Sorry, this is Crick.
I do like
Oh,
that
you have
made
to
up
name
a-
them on
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, you haven't named them.
This
on,
is
on
Crick
20.
and this is Craig.
I don't know if you guys noticed the hit points on them as well. So they're not hugely.
Oh,
Oh,
is
shit.
it
Okay, we've got
1,111?
It is not quite that. Divide that by 100.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no. Luckily, my pike is imbued with, I believe, holy magic. Yes, that's right.
praying to the morning Lord.
Well, you don't believe in that rubbish, do you?
Of course I fucking do. This means war.
Well, you haven't seen Bill lately. Oh, he's
Yeah.
bloody handsome man, isn't he?
I like we're
I'll
not
get
even
my,
we're not even
scrapbook.
back we're not even back into the show and you guys are embodying the characters. It's great.
We wouldn't kick him out of bed unless I wouldn't fuck him on the floor. See what I'm saying?
I can't remember all the other characters' names.
Can you see them on the?
My one just says gate guard, but I did rename it. Obviously, I have to rename it elsewhere also. This won't do.
If you click it,
Here we
and
go,
then
here we go.
You got it?
Prick. Save. Prick
Oh yeah, correct.
and Craig. Maybe he was named after Kresk.
Ray was born in
Yeah, but his
Kretsk.
parents were not quite.
You're like, name them after the place we wish we could live. Crick.
I have to like D&Dify Graham because it's not correct.
Just Graham. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
Graham. Graham and Greg.
No, I think changing a single letter will bring it to the right.
Graham. Oh, if it was Graham, that's
Graham? Yeah, that's good.
Graham.
D&D-ish.
Graham.
Graham. Oh, with a Y in it. Perfect.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Graham.
Mm.
Okay,
I'm
well,
gonna
let's get
rename
let's,
Greg.
I
let's
like
get
that.
back into back to the
It's
lake.
going to be annoying if I'm eating a Calipo.
I mean, like,
because I
don't
don't
eat
have
it
one.
directly into the microphone. I think might be that would be ideal.
Oh, you got a... What does a Calipo taste like?
Oh, this one is astonishing. Mini raspberry pineapple. So nice.
That sounds.
It's so good.
sounds
I love
great.
those.
Mini
They're so good.
raspberry.
It's really warm here. Is it
I'm
warm
gonna
there?
quick-
It's
Quickly-
yeah. Oh,
I'm-
are you doing something, Joe?
I've been... Oh,
Do we not want to go?
I'm just going to restart.
Okay, I won't go back.
Just give me 1 second.
is it all
I'm
the
just gonna
long nose
refresh the
stuff that's wrecked
browser.
it?
No, it's just, I don't know why, but Adam's feed always goes all choppy and horrible. Every single
the
time. I don't
Calipos.
know why.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is hot. I don't know if
was
it's
like
hot. I
18
was standing
degrees
in
today.
the
It was
sun
nice.
all day,
Yeah.
and now my brain is fried.
Well, just to cool off with a nice cold treat.
I want to.
Okay, you back, Joe? Everything working? Perfect. All right. Perfect. Everything's perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Everything's just fine.
Except for the zombies.
As you're peering now towards the sound of those the wet footprints, you now see a further group of silhouettes forming in the fog,
Up.
and you have
Good lord.
7 of these shapes start moving out of the water, out of the lake, towards the lakeside. I'm going to need a roll of initiative from everybody.
It's like Adam is doing Foley for the
Oh,
zombies.
can you guys still hear that?
Zombies' feet, like hitting the
It's good.
the
Oh, immersive.
dirt and silt.
Oh, I've rolled pretty well. Crick and Krug are at 20.
Feel free just to roll one of your characters. You don't have to roll all of them.
How do I even roll?
Oh
I don't-
no,
I
that's
don't-
a 1. That's a disastrous initiative.
I can't hold an accent for 5 seconds. This is just roll with it.
You should just be able to click your token, open up the character
Yeah.
sheet, and roll.
Where's the fucking character sheet for Greg?
You should just be able
I
to
had my
hold
token
shift.
clicked.
It's under monsters, remember?
Oh, so
Because
we can
Greg's
use
a
that.
monster.
Hold shift and double click your token, and that'll also bring up your
Oh.
character
Ooh,
sheet.
hacks.
Oh, it's because I didn't.
Okay, it's only been like 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Sorts of.
sure. What did you roll? Sorry, Bill. Or sorry, Jeff.
I rolled a 9.
A 9.
Watch out, Greg. Watch out, Graham.
Craig,
What's going on
good in
down
there?
there? Who's down there? What's going on?
did Craig roll a 20? Did I miss that?
I've rolled a 20. I'm perceiving everything.
Oh, nice.
Is that a fish that's come out of the water there? I was seeing one of them earlier.
Who am I? Who
Oh,
am I
that's no
missing?
fish.
I don't have Graham or Greg on there, so here we go.
Aha. Well, there's a tiny thing that says in it, and I found it.
Oh, okay.
16.
All right, perfect. At the top of the
17.
At the top of the turn order is Craig and Craig. Craig and Craig, you see these 7 silhouettes, and the sounds coming from them are horrific. You've not heard anything like this. It's like the sound of someone moaning, but it's also the sound of the sound passing through water and coughing up water at the same time.
Sounds like someone's slowly enjoying an ice pop.
Enjoying a hot day. Sucking down
A raspberry
Calippo.
pineapple Calippo.
That's mortifying. Mukbang ASMR.
They don't seem to be moving quickly out of the water at this point, but they are moving south. And there seems to be about
Stay right
7
there.
Oh no! What do we do, Greg?
Hold your partner's hand and return to our initial spot. Our meeting place.
Hold your partner's hand and return to our initial spot. What a leader. What a great military mind. Sun Tzu, is that you?
I'm in my role, inhabiting my role.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very Miyagi.
Crick and Craig slowly extend their hands out until they grasp each other's hands sweatily. With their other hands, they shakily take hold of their pikes and point them tremulously towards the zombies as they retreat, yelling out, "I'm retreating just like you said, Greg."
Good man.
Yeah.
Greg.
They've readied a good piking action if they need to.
Yeah, great. Each of your characters can have a speed of 30 feet, so feel free to move your tokens
Okay.
to reflect
I'll
that.
do that. Each of these squares is 5.
That's right.
You say it's
Okay.
a 10-foot pike.
Who said it was a 10-foot pike?
You did. Yeah,
I just said pike. Let's have a look at the reach. It'll say on the character sheet.
I guess it's not a
Reach is 10 feet.
There you go. Yeah, reach is 10 feet.
Oh.
So maybe you just saw it and thought, I don't know.
No, it's my old pike knowledge.
I'm feeling like a bit of a coward right now. But
Plenty of time to cower later. Back home.
oh yep.
Anything else from Craig and Craig?
Just muttering away. Oh, I don't like this one bit.
Okay,
Next their
Greg
turn.
and Graham. It's over to you.
Well, seeing as it's 10 feet, Greg and Graham will they'll stop clutching each other's hands, clutch their pikes, not just the sharing one, and then they will attempt to poke it, the sharp end at this zombie with the purple dot close by.
Yeah, cool. Give me a roll to hit.
Okay, so where is that?
Should just be on.
Pike.
Yeah. Just give that a click.
First one is a what?
Did it roll?
14
A
damage of 7.
Okay, perfect. You guys might not see that roll because they're monsters. They just roll to the DM. So I might need to. I'm not sure how I can change.
The second one from Graham is a 22 and a 9.
Both Greg and Graham in unison just jab out with their pikes, just like their training has instilled into them. Both jabbing directly into one of the zombies. Doing
good job, Graham.
Total of 16 damage.
Oh.
I'm just going to. Can you also just give me a D20?
Aye. A 1.
The way that these pikes hit the zombie, it loosens off one of its legs, and one of its legs just flops down into the water. And this leg seems to have a mind of its own, and is like kicking around in the water, and the zombie is managing just to keep balance on its one remaining leg.
Oh, well done.
Okay. Anything else from Greg and Graham?
Yes, Greg yells out, "About face!" and march! And him and Graham march back towards the initial spot. And Greg's going to yell out, "Form a wall! A wall!
A wall?
Wall!
Okay. Forming a wall.
A wall!"
Hold my hand, Graham. No, you stick holding Greg's hand. Don't mess up the buddy. The buddy system is key.
Yeah. Hold your own buddy's hand. Okay.
Why is hand holding such a big part of the tactics here? Surely you've got one hand not used at all times.
Well, there's a lot of mist. And for moral support, really.
Of course. It's lonely out there. It is the zombies' turn, and they, having spotted you and watching you all head away from them, they burst into a sprint.
No, not sprinting zombies. Those are the worst.
Suppose I can. Yes. And. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are they attacking Biff?
They are just sprinting. 10, 15, 20, 25,
Can
30.
they sprint?
Surely the water counts as difficult terrain, though, because they have to...
Yeah, have you ever tried to run on a beach? It's not easy.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. We'll reduce it by 10, which would mean like the first 10 feet are at double.
And that guy's only got one leg.
That's so kind of you, Dean.
Which just means he can hop. He doesn't have that weight holding him down.
He's faster now. We should all get rid of our legs.
That's why in the 100 meters at the Olympics every 4 years, the one you get bloke wins it because they're so much faster.
Yeah. This zombie that shares the same color. I've given them each little colors. Yeah, the purple one has lost a leg. This little token at the back is just its leg. So it's just kind of flutter kicking. It's flutter kicking its way towards the shore, but is really not able to do much, is it? So, and that's the zombies' turn. Jeff, we're over to Jeff and Ian now. Greg, Graham, Craig, and Crack have all come running towards you, holding hands. Zombies, right on their heels, just running behind as well.
Yeah, poke and retreat.
And don't forget the hands.
What are we going to get from Ian and Jeff?
Oh, sorry. I heard the name Jeff and I was like, what's going on? Who's Jeff? I meant to make Ian the
Oh, what's happening with Ian?
main
Let's
guy.
go with Ian. Ian's the main guy. Ian and Jeff.
I told you nothing good can come from that water. And they are going to move up, following Greg's shining example. And they're going to stab this one.
Oh, the purple one. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Both of them reach out with their pikes. Give me 2 rolls of attack. What have we got here?
So a 13 to hit.
That is a hit.
First one. For 11 piercing.
Okay, great. And the other one was a...
I think it's a 9 to hit. I'm assuming it shouldn't be at advantage, right?
Yeah, it's not at advantage. So yeah, 9 is a hit as well, doing a total of 20 damage on this zombie that has already lost 1 leg. These pikes just come through, one through its head, one through its chest, and it just drops this thing down as they shake it free off their pikes. The leg kicking around in the water just stops moving as well. So that zombie drops to the ground dead.
Oh, Jeff! Yes!
And Greg's last instruction was to hold the wall.
Retreat. Form a war.
Poke and retreat, I think is word. Poke and
one?
retreat.
Which one,
Poke?
Greg? Both.
Poke and retreat to form a wall. Don't be out there alone.
Okay. And I move back.
Well, you've left me alone now, but it's okay. Not much of a war.
So you want me to stay here and form a wall?
Yeah, aye, come back a bit. That's perfect.
And then we move over to Biff and Griff. Griff still sort of like checking out that fish, to be honest. He's been pretty enamored by that, but has now noticed the commotion happening on behind him.
What's going on down there? Have you all seen your old fish, have you? We told you there's lively waters down there this evening. He doesn't really know what's going on, but Biff is all too aware of the situation, and he's kind of terrified, but he gets a rush of adrenaline, and he's going to dart out towards this orange zombie and thrust his pike into its chest, screaming, and then run away.
Okay, give me a roll to hit.
It's a 14.
That's a hit.
Yeah, baby.
And what's the
6.
1d10?
damage?
1d10 plus 1 for damage.
It's a 3 plus 1.
4 damage. Okay, perfect. You just kind of graze this thing as it it picks up on your screaming. It wasn't focused on you before, but it absolutely is now, as the sort of hollow, mucusy eyes stare into your soul.
What have I done? I'm going to run back into the trees here.
Okay, cool. He's just running. What about
Is inside the tree? Can you do that?
underneath the
good.
trees, underneath the branches?
Yeah, I'm marking the trunk. He's not going to get me down here, is he? He's not
Good
gonna know he's
idea,
right from
Biff.
his elbow.
What about Griff?
So in your initiative.
Yeah, Griff. How far can Griff move?
He's got a speed of 30, so he can dash 60, so he can get quite far.
Oh, so he can move and he can attack.
Yeah, he's got a reach of 10 as well, so he doesn't have to get right next to them.
All right. Griff, he's kind of started wandering back because he was mystified as to why no one wanted to come and check out that fish.
He's just heard Biff scream.
As he's just heard the scream, he's going to go, Biff! And he's going to go charging up the beach and then just take his, like a trident, his pike, and he's going to like go for a full stab with the trident.
Cool.
Or bident.
Give us a roll.
That's an 8.
That's a hit. That is
What?
a hit.
Nice.
Zombies are very slow, usually, in their movements, and they're not very well armored, so that's an 8. That's a hit.
You are a spaced pig!
Give me a d10 plus 1.
That's a 8 all up, 7 plus 1.
Did you call him a spiced pig?
No, we called him an arse-faced pig.
Oh, I thought you said space pig.
arse face.
Now you don't have to get that
Arse face,
close.
Greg.
You don't have to get that close since a pike has 10 feet of range. So if you want, you can stay back a bit. Yeah, cool. Okay, great. Anything else from Biff and Griff?
He's just gonna, Biff, where are you? That's all.
Okay, cool. It is Craig's turn.
Craig's noticed that Griff is in a spot of bother. Like if they swarm Griff's in big trouble.
And
'cause
Griff, you've known
he's not
Griff
been
a
able to
long
poke
time.
and retreat.
There's
He's not
like
been able to poke and retreat.
there's been
No.
a bond between this group. There's a reason
Yeah,
you all
like-
go out together. These childhood friends.
We just planned a fishing trip. I can't let Griff perish.
Sure.
So Craig plants his feet and goes, "Oh, there'll be no poke and retreat today, not with Griff's life on the line. You mark my words." And runs forward to stand next to Griff and does a poke but does not retreat.
Okay.
So how can I move?
You should just have
how-
access to them.
I just want to see how far I can run because
right.
I've got 30 feet of movement. so that
Contravening
would be-
orders.
I can.
What? Very
I'll
brave.
run forward to be near Griff, but close enough to poke a zombie.
Oh yeah.
So like there.
So you're gonna go for the orange zombie.
Yeah, because I'm scared he's going to come for my boy Griff.
Yeah, concentrate
and
fire.
I can't let that happen. So I'm going to strike out with the pike. Take that. What have I rolled? I've rolled an 11
That is a hit.
that right?
Yeah.
for. Oh, I rolled a 10 plus 1 for piercing
Nice.
damage.
Amazing.
Great. Yeah.
Craig?
You do some decent damage. You just like punch a hole straight through the shoulder of this zombie, dragging like one of its lungs through its back, and then when you pull the pike back out, the lung just drops to the ground behind him.
Like one of those smoking ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about Craig?
Crick's gonna follow Craig's lead
Oh yeah.
as Crick runs off. Their hands unclasp, and he is like, no. That link can never be broken. So he runs up to Craig's side, and he reclasps his hand. And he goes, all right. He looks him meaningfully in the eyes and goes,
Never do that
"All right,
again.
Craig.
Oh, you
To
never
the end,
leave.
Craig. I'll
The
never
notebook.
leave you, Craig. We've got a fishing trip to go on. And he rolls a 15 to hit with his pike
That's a hit.
as he hits the zombie for 8 plus 1 piercing damage.
Can you also give me a D20, please?
He squeezes his hand to show his love and mutual respect, rolling a 14.
Okay, with Crick's attack, you sever off one of the arms of the zombie. Its right arm just sort of like crumples down onto the ground. Can I make that a small? I'll make that small. There we go.
Oh, cute.
Kawaii.
And it kind of flops around with a life of its own
Like a
on,
fish.
on the
no.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
He lets out a quick, blimey!
Anything else? Are we moving on to both Greg and Graham?
Yeah, I think that's their turn.
Cool. Greg and Graham.
Oh. Very brave there, Craig.
Thank you, Graham.
All right, we'll form a wall up there. And Greg is going to move forward. And Greg's also going to say, concentrate fire until one of them's dropped and then move on to the next one. And he's going to roll it for his pike against the
Please.
orange one. That's 16.
You guys are
For
rolling very
6.
well. 16 for 6.
Six
That is
damage.
enough
Yeah.
to put this damaged zombie out of commission, dropping it to the ground. And the arm flailing and flopping behind next to it also stops moving.
So Greg is actually going to
Ooh.
move out forward next to Griff. and try and protect the others. And Graham's going to run up behind him. Not without me! And he's going to stab at this yellow one.
Okay. Roll to hit.
What's that? A 6.
Oh, the first miss. You managed to like jab out towards it, and it just like disappears through an already sort of rotted part of it. It's just through and doesn't damage it at all.
That would have been 11 damage too.
That would have been
Too much power, I think. He's going to keep running over to the other side of Griff.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
So it's Greg, Griff, Graham in a row.
All right. It is the zombies' turns. This is where things might get a little bit more interesting. They both just run towards the closest. The two on the right run towards the closest target, which in this case is Greg. The first one.
Oh no!
This is not. This is,
I hope Greg doesn't perish in a horrible.
That would be terrible.
it starts its turn by just lashing out with its claws, swiping with these gangrenous claws. It rolls a 19 and then a 12.
Oh, the 12's all right.
Yeah, he's got an armor class of 16.
Okay, so only one of those.
First
hit.
one hits.
Okay, giving 4 slashing damage across Greg's chest, just whoosh, and then just as you think that zombie was about to stop, it just launches forward with its teeth bared, as an attempt to bite down into Greg. Rolling an 18.
Greg.
Doing
It's a hit.
Doing 5 piercing damage to Greg's shoulder.
That's 9 damage total,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. Having seen,
Only
having
got 2 left.
registering the attack on Greg, the next one runs straight past and jumps towards Craig. Again, reaching out with its claws, slash, rolling a 15 and a 4. So that's 2 misses, is it?
I duck and weave.
That was a crit fail as well. So I'm just going to quickly roll a D100 to see how badly this zombie crit fail. It actually rolled a crit fail and a crit success. It rolled a 12, so it damages itself. It as it's running forward, it like grazes its. You know when you stub your toe, but imagine you're just stubbing all of your toes off. It just
Don't imagine that.
What a great initial framing.
As it falls, it bares its teeth and tries to come down onto Greg with its teeth bared. It this time rolls a crit success, doing a total of only 5 damage with its teeth.
On Craig.
On Craig.
Ooh.
Another one comes running forward towards Ian. Again, it's going to start with a bite this time. It's just like leading with its face. Rolling an 11, which is a miss, and as it snaps next to Ian's face, tries to grab on with its claws, rolling an 8 and missing, and another 8. Just the leather armor managing to hold back the wetness of this zombie's grasp. Another zombie comes running in, this time also trying to attack Ian. We're doing the same sort of attack here. We've got a bite and 2 attacks with its arms. It's a 15, a 13, both misses, and a 19. The last claw manages to catch on Ian's cheek and raises these gangrenous nails across his face, doing 5 slashing damage. This last zombie coming running forward and meets Crack face on. Stops for a minute and then making Crick think maybe it's all right, but no, these claws slash out a 16, a 6, which is a miss, and then again another bite, rolling a 16. So it's 4 damage from the claw.
That's 2 meets beats.
Yeah, it's 4 slashing damage from the claw, 5 piercing damage of the teeth of this zombie biting down into Crick.
So that was 4 damage and 5?
Yeah, so 9.
On Crick?
Yes. Yeah.
And Craig's got 5 damage on him.
Yeah.
This is not looking good, guys.
It's Jeff's turn, or Ian and Jeff. Jeff has managed to stay safe behind this wall, but everyone else he's just now hearing these like groans and shattering of teeth and slashing and cries of pain from his friends around him. What's Ian and Jeff up to?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we reach past people?
Yeah. As long as you can, absolutely, if you can find a spot, there might be a +2 added to their AC just for having someone in your way, but they've got a very low AC already, so that might not be too bad, depending who you're aiming for.
I'm trying to listen to Greg's orders. Hold the wall and concentrate fire.
And hold hands.
And hold hands. So, Jeff is going to take a swing at this zombie.
The yellow
The
one.
yellow
yeah.
one.
The one in front of
The yellow
Craig,
one.
the one that attacked Craig.
Yeah. Because that one has been damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the... There it goes. Take that! Oh no. Rolled a 6.
Roll of 6 is a miss. With everything going on, you just can't manage to...
Wait,
Oh, what?
do we do flanking rules? Oh wait, that would also be bad for us.
Well, you do flanking rules, but I suppose you could.
That also means the zombies would get double attacks on us, right?
Well, flanking has to have someone on opposing sides.
Yeah,
if
we
you're
have
not
a
just
wall.
next to the same. It's not just having two next to someone. They have to be on opposing. You have to be flanking,
okay.
so on the opposite side.
He's pretty flanked though, isn't he? With Greg and Craig.
Not
Yeah,
really, because the
if he was
person that's
saying with
interacting with the zombie is on the same side as him, so doesn't make So we're going to go with a 6. It's a miss, unfortunately, from Jeff.
And
If
none
and
of these
Jeff.
other zombies have been hit.
No, they haven't. Oh, the one in front of Greg has, but you aren't able to reach that one
That pink one.
Yeah.
without moving.
And that
He'd be able
case,
to reach the yellow one though, eh?
not from
Ian?
here.
Nah, not from there.
It's not 10 feet through
Diagonal space. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, that doesn't really work in D&D, does it?
Nah.
Just straight through Crick. I think that is
That's
pretty generous.
I was going to allow that one, but where Ian is not so much.
Yeah, okay. I'll just attack the red one then.
Okay, the one that's like managed to get some damage on Ian, I believe.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, Ian, you're in danger. You can disengage.
Nope, it's all right.
No, Ian. Okay, of course,
Ian,
Greg, guys.
save yourself!
I'm gonna stick
Think
him
of
with
your
the pointy end.
children.
14 to hit
That's a hit.
and 10 piercing damage on red.
Perfect. You managed to knock a decent chunk of meat off this zombie with your pike. Is there any movement you wanted from Ian?
I don't think I should risk it.
Okay. Biff in the tree and Griff. What's Biff and Griff up to? I'll paint a picture for Biff here. Biff is seeing some horrific shit right now. He is seeing the group that he loves being
Thanks for that
swarmed now. And he's seeing that damage is happening to his friends.
How would it work mechanically for Griff to kind of tackle that pink zombie into the water? I want to try and drown it.
But it's just been under.
You want to drown the thing that was just living in the water, no problem?
drown that fish.
Okay.
And by drown it, I mean hold it underwater with my pike on its throat.
Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. What
Can
we
I
can...
like launch forward and like tackle it into the water?
Yeah, we can do a strength versus what are we going to do? Probably strength versus
Intelligence.
strength.
Yeah.
We'll do strength versus strength.
All right. You leave Greg alone. No one takes a shot at old Greg. This is for your wife, Mabel. 15, you
Perfect.
fucker.
Yeah, the zombie's only rolled an 8. So what I'll do is this will enable you to grab and move him 10 feet, but it's going to leave you in front of this creature.
He's
now.
sacrificing himself for Greg.
Yeah.
Graf, no! I'd rather I died than any of you.
And then Biff,
What about
Biff
Greg?
seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
He's gonna try and actually, because Greg's in fucking terrible shape, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
Hey, rude.
Oh, that was before we started, eh? Biff would like to try and drag Greg back into the trees for cover.
There
I'd like to.
will be an opportunity attack on him.
Well, fuck that. Then.
Don't you worry about Greg.
Yeah.
Could you
Biff's
run
gonna-
up and flank the yellow one, or would that be opportunity attacks as well?
What I would
Probably on you,
what I would
right?
allow you to do as a means of getting Greg away from that yellow zombie is do a similar thing to what you did to the other zombie, which is run in and basically just knock Greg out of the way and replace Greg with your character. If you wanted to give that a try.
No, I've changed my mind. I'm just going to go Hell for Leather on the yellow zombie. So Biff,
Oh,
he's going
good
to
idea.
be overtaken with. So he's afraid, but he gathers himself and lets out a blood-curdling scream, charges forward, and just tries to stab the pike into that yellow zombie's head.
Cool. Yeah, give us a roll.
What was that? I missed it.
That wasn't good. It was a 3.
No!
That is a miss. But what I will allow you is to roll with advantage. There's 3 of you surrounding this zombie now. We'll bring in the flanking rule since there's 3 of you around him.
How's that going for you? Was that better?
Definitely not better.
Well,
Actually, just a little bit worse than the first one. So no, that is a miss.
advantage is like best of 3, eh? That's how we normally play it.
Something not this time.
Sweet. Yeah, cool. Yeah. It's 17.
Still a
Come on,
miss.
Let's roll.
It's a-
Let's go.
Keep going.
Back at the top of the order, Craig and Craig. Things are looking a little grim now that you've got these zombies snapping
Yeah.
at you and right in front of you.
Crick's looking in horrible condition. He's been slashed to ribbons, but he's still holding on. He's still holding on to Craig, and he mutters, "I'll never let go of your hand. Keep by my side. This may be the end of Craig." Yeah, because he's probably gonna die. So he's gonna. I
He's
think
only
aim
got
for
2
that
hit
yellow.
points too, right?
Yeah, he's got 2 hit points left, but he's not backing down. He's gonna roll with his pike. Does he do advantage because of the flanking thing? Or
Wait, who's
no?
only? Well, how much? Which one's only
Crick.
got that much left?
Correct.
Oh, you hadn't adjusted their health. Oh no, okay, it's just changed now.
I didn't adjust their house because I didn't know how.
Oh, right,
I just
okay,
wrote
cool.
it down.
I just fixed it.
Okay, cool.
Crick's taken 9 damage, and Craig has taken 5 damage.
Right.
So Crick's roll. Do I roll with advantage or no?
For Crick, which one are you rolling against? The blue one?
The
Or
yellow one.
Yeah. Everyone's kind of turned on that. You're welcome. Because of Greg's positioning, absolutely.
Okay, so I've rolled a 16 to hit or a 9 to hit. So obviously
That's a hit.
16 and 5 plus 1 piercing damage for 6.
6 damage. Okay, this thing isn't. It's looking damaged, but it's not as damaged as you might want it to be at this point.
Yeah, Crick's not long for this world.
Yeah.
Which one are you attacking? Blue or the red?
The yellow one.
Or the yellow one? Oh,
As it's
Isn't that the one we're
dead.
centering on?
it had already
Yeah.
taken some damage. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the health bars are tracked on there. Should have
Are
gone
they?
for the blue one.
Wait.
No, that's
Greg.
Crick's.
Oh yeah,
bars
no.
are
That's
above.
sorry. Yeah.
That's
The health
that's
bars
correct.
are above.
That's correct.
What you're seeing is the 2 of 11 is Crick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So who that was Craig?
Okay.
Was that Craig or Crick attacking just then?
that was Crick.
Okay, so what's Craig up to? With 6 health hit points left.
Crick's holding on to Crick's bloody hands.
Oh no. This is sad.
Just praying for his buddy to not succumb, but knowing it could be their last moment together. Lashing out with the pike on the yellow zombie again. roll with advantage, I guess. Oh, does it automatically roll with advantage?
It does.
Is this it? Well, okay, so the best roll is a 12, so 9. How's it?
Wait, what?
9 plus 3.
Okay. 12. Yeah, 12 is a hit. And what sort of damage are we looking
Or
at?
7 plus 1 piercing damage on
Yes.
the yellow zombie.
All right, give me a d20, please. Just since it was 2 people
Okay.
attacking at once on the same zombo.
He's just weeping, openly weeping for their lives.
Yeah.
He's rolled a 17.
With the 17, the 2 pikes from Crick and Craig just knock the head of this zombie clean off and onto the ground behind it. It doesn't kill the zombie. Its just head is now on the ground snapping wildly while this thing stands still in front of you. It is
Alright,
definitely
that's
looking more
their
damaged
turn.
now,
They're-
especially
they're
without a
not
head.
They're not going to move.
Okay, they're staying put.
I mean, they'll just get opportunity attack to death if they move, right?
They
So there's no
definitely
real point.
would. What are we up to? We're up to Greg. Greg and Graham?
Yeah, okay. Graham, I think, is going to be like, Greg, you've been wounded. Look out. And Graham is going to walk up behind Greg and
I love that he's walking.
so he's going to mosey along the
The
beach.
fucking cookie bear.
Come you do. Well, and he's going to get his pike and try to stab. Hey, can he? There's no disadvantage shooting, or does he get advantage here against the
For-
yellow one?
Against yes, yeah, for sure.
Okie dokie. So this is Graham doing a pike.
Okay.
6 and a 14
14's a hit.
for 6 damage.
Nice. This zombie with no head now is like flailing wildly. It seems to know where where to aim its flailing, thanks to the head like on the spot, like chattering away on the ground, the sand, in the pebbles. But it doesn't. It's damaged. It's nearly dead from how it's currently looking.
Nearly dead.
Man.
Okay, Greg then. He's face to face with this foul thing.
Yeah.
Be gone with ye!
Greg looking way closer to death than the zombie does as well. So
Yeah. A 7 and a 5.
that is a mess with the amount of
That's
blood
bad
loss
news.
Greg is having. He just like swipes out and just misses, just jams his pike into the pebbles at the feet of the zombie.
This is very bad news. I was hoping it would be dead by now.
Is any movement from
yeah.
Greg?
Well, no. I think that would be bad.
It is.
Crit goes,
However,
oh, this is very
Graham-
bad news.
Potentially,
Graham
you would
will-
only take one swipe, though.
It is
That's
the zombie's turn.
Oh. I'll just have Graham come around here to just above Greg there.
Okay, cool. We're gonna start with
There's a
the
head there, right?
with the zombie that is being pushed down into the water that Griff is holding on to. Oh no, you rammed it with your pike, right? That's how you were kind of charging it out of the way. All right, we probably should have rolled for damage. Can you give me a D10 plus 1 for that? Since you did.
I thought I'd used all my. Like, I described that, so I want to do it, but I thought I'd used my attack.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, you did right. You only get one action. We'll keep it as is then. This thing is trying to reach out and grab you, but it's going to roll with disadvantage just because of how you're currently sort of pinning it to the
Because
ground.
it's in the water. No, it's not its natural habitat. It's all at sea, literally.
Yeah, okay. It's rolled with disadvantage a 9 and a 5, so that's missing. It is both scratching out, and the water is like slowing its swipes down. We have this zombie over by Ian is now just trying to scratch at Ian's arms and chest. It's a 13. Ian seems impenetrable. It's a 13 and a 5. The 5 is the bite. The bite just comes down into some of the leather on Ian's shoulder, and he steps back and tries to swipe again and just scratches across more of the studded leather that Ian is wearing. So Ian is just doing really well. All 3 misses there.
Amazing.
I cannot be penetrated.
Yeah, he yells that out.
Crick,
That's what he always says.
He's been
That's
hit 1 out of
classic
9
Ian.
attacks.
Crick, however, has another zombie, the same zombie, at right in front.
no.
He's holding him back.
Yeah.
And it's working. There's a roll of a 13 as a claw misses Crick's face. A roll of a 14 as it misses his chest, and then as it goes to bite down on Crick's face, it just snaps shut, ka-chunk, right in front of Crick's bulbous nose.
Oh, that were bloody close, weren't it?
Well, your bulbous nose held him off though, Crick. I told you that claws would come in handy.
No one would want to buy that.
The
It's
zombie.
an optical illusion.
The zombie in front of Craig, the one that's been sort of attacked from all sides with the head now lying on the ground behind it, reaches out with its claws to swipe out at Craig. It doesn't get a bite attack this time, so just the 2 swipes, and they are going to be at disadvantage. The first one, a 15, narrowly misses Craig, but the second swipe, with a roll of 21, manages to connect with Craig. And it is a roll of 6 slashing damage.
Oh no, Craig's got 6.
Oh,
That's how many he's got.
Craig's dead.
Beats,
Craig's
beats.
dead.
And Craig drops to the ground in a dying
Yeah,
state.
he does. Yeah.
Um,
Craig, as he drops, he goes, "We'll go on that fishing trip sometime soon, you hairy bud."
and I think is there one more? I think there's still one in front of Ian who is diligently. Ian is just like holding his pike out and putting his face palm out and stopping them every way that he can. And I tell you what, his luck is amazing. One of the claws misses completely. The bite, again, you manage to just jab your pike into its mouth and push it away, and it tries to claw you one more time, and it rolls a critical fail and tears off 3 of its fingers that are left kind of hooked underneath one of the plates in your armor. Doing some damage to itself at the same time. Ian is unstoppable. Jeff and Ian, over to you.
You're right, Ian. I'm alright, Jeff. Jeff is just going to do the same thing as last time. He's going to reach over and try to finish off this yellow one, hoping to get a lead on how many zombies there are versus how many pikemen there are.
Give us a roll.
He can see Greg's strategy at work. Oh, does he have flanking?
Yes, he does.
Oh, thank God. That was a crit fail
Yeah.
on my first roll and a 15 on my second.
A 15 is a hit. What sort of damage are we looking at?
7 total.
Enough to knock the zombie back, spilling all of its interior to the exterior as it drops to the ground into
It's like a
the stony
comfy
ground.
sedan, the way you're describing it.
Like a what?
Like a sedan. Or something. Just like a car.
Interior to the exterior.
Beautiful leather interior.
Beautiful viscera interior and
Yeah.
flashy exterior.
What about Ian? Ian is fending off 2 zombies at once here and doing an amazing job at it.
He's currently pinned down between these 2 zombies, but he did get a glancing blow on old Red over here, so he's going to go after Red again. With his pike action. He rolled a 13 to hit
That is a hit.
for 5 piercing damage.
Great. Knocking the zombie back onto pushing his weight onto his back foot before correcting himself back in front of Ian and just snarling directly in Ian's face. Any movement from either of those 2?
No, he's just going to make a comment to Jeff as he grasps his hand again and says, I think Ian's luck might run out here.
Biff and Griff.
Right, I'll start with Griff first. You're back to the depths with you slimy beast! And he's just gonna drive his pike down into the zombie's skull if he can. is a 16.
That's a hit.
And then that is... Oh, yeah.
Oh, 11 damage. Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. This zombie is with the water lapping around its arms and stuff. It's really being held back, and having that pike push through into it is doing it no... It's like just giving the water more places to fill. What about Biff?
So that would be a 10 plus 1 damage, right?
Yeah, 11
Not
damage.
Just 10.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
the pike
not
does
dead then?
10
Can I
plus
just
1.
confirm?
It's not dead. It's
Definitely
just
dead.
got extra holes that are
Okay.
filling up with water. But yes, 11 damage. That's right.
Because
Alright.
because they're zombies, they get some sort of save, right?
Against...
Dying.
Uh...
Is that what you're doing? That's
No.
what my zombies do anyway. They
Oh, right. Not these ones. These are very specific ones. Your zombies won't have limbs that fall off that continue moving.
No,
These are very
no, they don't.
specific ones.
But they can get back up if they
Right.
roll.
Not these ones. Biff.
Biff's going to try and dive onto Bluey. Here. This guy here.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh,
He's just going to
Gosh, what a
dive
hero.
on him with his pike.
Cool.
Again.
Cool. We'll just do an attack roll for this one.
All right. That's a
Nat
crit.
20. That's great. Give me 2d10 plus 1.
Come on.
That's a 7 and a 5, so 13.
Okay, 13. It's still like this zombie had been sort of... This zombie had been sort of untouched. So what we'll do is we'll just move... It gets pushed across as Biff launches himself. And so he's finally had a bit of damage, but Crick is left with Biff standing in front of him now instead of one of these snarling zombies. Anything else from Biff and Griff?
8.
Okay. What?
And that would have done plus 1 damage again, right?
Yeah,
Not
I
12, it would have done
yeah.
13.
Yeah, I included that.
I'm so
into the-
scared the zombie's going to kill us. I'm like counting every number.
I'm adding them all up. Don't worry. In the urgency of not dragging out the training montage across the next 8 sessions, what we see is the fog picking up, and we see within that fog just this battle between the undead and the remaining guardsmen, and back at the northern gates of Vallaki, there's just the sounds of these screams and attacks off in the distance that can be heard, and there's people are unsure, and they're looking around to see, where's End? I hadn't seen him for a while. Greg had taken this group out for to check out the lake to make sure there wasn't anybody out there, and it's kind of a little bit of concern rolls over everyone. What I'm going to do, I'm going to roll a D8. Wait, how many were left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 left. So I'm going to roll a D8. We're going to include our fallen friend as well. Whatever I roll is how many guards return from this battle.
Oh, come on, we've got the upper hand.
we're gonna kill them.
If I roll a 1, I will re-roll, and that's how many zombies appear at the gates. This
Should open a
is
casino with these odds. They're awful.
They're really big.
okay. I've rolled a 7, which is great. It's good. Well, it's good for
7?
everyone except Craig. The group returns to Vallaki beaten and bloodied, and they're carrying Craig's body with them, who perished at the lake. But they fought a good fight, and they're concerned that there will be more. And they get patched up overnight, and they're feeling a little better by morning. Obviously, they're a little more trauma to them, thanks to having never dealt with zombies before, and they speak to other guards and speak to the adventurers and tell American and Morley all about this new threat. Yes, Morley?
I'd like to have on record that Morley is the first to visit Greg in the infirmary and give him a heartfelt pat on the back and say, "You did good out there, Greg. I heard you were a hero."
Greg is like close to dead when he's in. He's like he is being held up by Graham. He's still strong enough to hold Graham's hand.
We lost Greg. We lost him.
But
Never Morley.
Greg is.
But I'll never forget Greg.
Greg is very happy to see you, Morley. He's not in the state to do much talking and it just needs to rest and recover. But he's very thankful to see you there.
Bring me any of those white grapes. Little green ones.
There's been
more for adventurers, sorry, Greg.
Oh no, I can't eat the ones with seeds and take them back. Yuck.
Yeah, no seeds, please. Any flour.
Ian manages to come back with only a few scratches. He's definitely the healthiest of the group by the end of this fight. Him and Jeff, actually. Jeff managed to avoid any confrontation with the zombie and managed to get a lot of shots in with his pikes. We've got Krek, obviously in the same state as Greg, almost near death. And then we have Biff and Graham. They took a couple of hits from the remains of the zombies just in the final steps of taking down the last two. There was a wild swipe that managed to scratch across Graham's face, leaving him this nasty 3 sort of lined scar on his face. And Griff taking out this zombie in the water almost managed to come out completely unscathed, but is more tired than damaged. Fighting in water like that really takes it out of you, and that fight with that zombie lasted much longer than he thought it would take. But their concerns of what else could be in the lake is very valid. And the next day we see small numbers of zombies approach the northern gates. Sorry, American?
So I did mention earlier that I had some spells that I would want to use to fortify our defenses, just in case that comes into play at some point.
Not for right now. I'm sure it will. But the size, the number of these zombies that are coming out of the lakes on that third day, it's just like 1 or 2 at a time, and they're easily dispatched of. But the concern is the group that sort of heads towards the gates closer to the end of the night it seems to be getting to be like 4 or 5, and there's a concern that this number might grow over time. But then there's a lull, and no more seem to show up for the day.
It's kind of like popcorn. Builds up and then
keep listening for the last one and then wait.
They've gone.
On the 4th day, Morley's finished his book. It was a great read. He's got so much more understanding. He's got such a major understanding. It is the tome of understanding, and he feels like he's just got so much more understanding now.
What a book indeed.
He just understands. It's not about understanding. He understands how to understand. It's all about.
You should write the foreword.
It's very meta.
So I want you to increase your wisdom score by 2.
Whoa.
Oh.
Give me a look at your book.
Can I read it now? I'll just read it real quick.
The moment you finish that book and you start feeling wiser, the words fade from the book. The words just disappear from the book, leaving an empty tome.
Oh, even the bits I've highlighted?
There's just highlights now. Just these lines of highlighter. The only thing, day 4 starts off pretty quietly, but then quite quickly, one of the guards, it's Ian, back on duty already, comes running up to the group, and informs you all that there's a woman that's been seen at the western gates. She was looking in through the closed gates and was inquiring about what was going on. But the weirdest thing was, I didn't even see her coming, and I was on the lookout. You know how good Ian is at this kind of stuff. Didn't even hear her coming. She's still there if you want to go talk to her.
I'm on it.
And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Oh.
So mystery woman at the gates.
Mystery woman at the gates.
She doesn't have a big chicken house or anything.
No chicken house.
Chicken leg
with her.
house.
No, but she was very stealthy. She managed to get in without anyone. Well, out, in. She's at the gates, so not into Vallaki yet. But she managed to sneak up without being seen or heard.
Has everyone been told don't invite people in?
Yes, which is why they've come to get you, and not just let this person in. Yeah. And it's so this is kind of the format for. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 sessions. I'm thinking 2. Hopefully, we'll have a bit more of an understanding of how quickly we need to amass the armies and if there's any urgency.
3 more sessions of the Greg gang. What do you mean?
Yeah,
It was fun.
I saw someone say that I'd be happy if the whole campaign was just the adventures of these guards.
I was gonna say I'd read a comic book of just Crick and Greg.
Yeah. They were great. They were awesome. I was expecting no one to care if they died, but you quickly made even me not want them to die. So that was awesome.
And I gotta say, Griff, that was some fucking hero work, pushing him away from everyone else, saving Greg.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We will never leave a brother behind.
This was a little bit. This was me testing to see if you guys were okay with Greg dying.
Just ask. Yep.
You say that, but you just saved his life multiple times.
Yeah, his life was in your hands, and when it counted, you showed your true feelings at him.
Yeah,
It was a bit like the trolley problem, though.
Oh,
yeah. Tonight
it's a zombie.
I was going to say tonight we were all Greg. I feel, and that I think we're all just that little bit closer now to Greg.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Craig.
Craig, yeah.
Man.
Craig's gone.
Okay,
Craig's just sitting in the infirmary, holding up his hand like, this is the hand he used to hold, and no more. He won't be holding my hand anymore. It's got to be me from now on.
He just holds holds his own hand.
A little tear.
Guess I'll be holding my own from now on.
No, his hand slowly balls into a fist, and he's like, I will have my revenge.
Yeah, his
And this is the
empty hand
tale
becomes
of
a
Dark
fist,
Crick.
Dark Crick.
Correct.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks for entertaining a little sort of side story that I thought would be a bit of fun. Thank you so much.
It was really fun, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
it was. It was cool down by the beach.
Stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Nice
never
to see a change of
expected.
scenery. Saw a fish. That was nice.
It's lovely.
I don't know. One of the other things that I guess we should mention is I don't know how long your train. This is up to you. If you go too long, then obviously Strahd will meet you on the gates of Vallaki. If you want to take the fight to him, it's about getting your whatever group you can together before he moves. So it's something that you guys might want to plan a little bit on how long you want this training to go. And asking me questions about how things are progressing, because I've got sort of notes written down by what the army might look like after 7 days, what it might look like after 14 days, and stuff like that. So if at any point you're like, we need to go now because shit is hitting the fan, I'll have numbers for you.
My gosh.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the longer we wait, the stronger the armies will be. But if we wait too long, we lose home field advantage.
Well, the longer you take, the larger Strahd's army will be as well, and you don't know.
Yes, he is a crafty fella, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
We would have the home advantage though if we stayed here, and he wouldn't. And, what we need to do is build giant catapults with holy water balloons, water balloons. How about that? Or they can shoot crosses.
Oh, yeah.
Pointed
Bill,
crosses.
you're a bunch of religios. You must be able to conjure up.
That's actually the term they
what?
like to be called.
The religions. The Salvation Army.
Well,
That's
they might be our
perfect.
salvation. They are
Yes.
part of the army.
But can they conjure up holy water?
No, they can't.
Yeah, they could. The old
I
abbot
mean,
could make holy water.
holy water is just water that's been blessed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get them on the production line. We need like
Abbott's
a
great at blessing
Tesla-style
things, I bet.
factory of just buckets of water just going past on the conveyor belt. Holy water, holy
Yes.
water, holy water.
Just dirty old Barovian holy water.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irina could, depending on what kind of paladin she is, could create water and potentially bless it.
Wow.
There's a spell called create water or conjure water or something, and she also could have a spell called bless.
Mm.
Oh, bless.
American can create water, I
Oh, bless.
think.
Oh yeah, you could do like an RPG style combo attack with Irina. That's just like a torrent of water that she blesses.
I thought that
Yeah.
when that came up in a game I played, I thought like, oh, they don't create water. I thought it just like made like a huge amount, like filled up a thing. But it was like you make like 10 liters a day or something.
Is it?
Right.
Is it really that
I
small?
have to look into it. It depends. Like there are higher level spells that
It's like a
conjure lot
survival
more.
spell where you don't
Let me
run out
find-
of
let
water
me
in the
find
desert.
my-
Ah, right. That makes sense.
I'm gonna find more. Hang on. I've
You
got a
create
ton
up
of
to
water
10 gallons of
spells.
clean water.
10 gallons.
So that's
Ah,
It's quite a lot.
30
If you,
liters?
that's as big as a cowboy hat.
A 10-gallon hat.
Yeah. Yeah, what? How big is a gallon? Is that like 4 liters?
it's like 38 liters total.
A gallon is 38 liters.
No. A total
Oh,
total
okay.
10 liters.
Ah,
It's
right.
3.8, 3.7.
Sorry, I'm
8.
confusing. Okay,
Yeah.
that's quite.
What's a
That's
flagon?
quite a lot. What's a flagon?
Yeah, what's a flagon?
Is that a size though? You can
that
have
was-
different size flagons.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Is it just a name of like, it's like of a vessel? Or are they all standard size?
I've only seen one size of flagon.
How much did it hold?
I don't know. And I used to ring them up on the till. at the
One
mill.
flagons worth. What else are they called? What are they-
1.1
what's the
litres.
Growler.
Flagon is 1.1 litre. A growler?
We don't
Yeah,
want to be
they are
down
called
here
a
this
growler.
way.
You can get them in 2 liters or 1.25 at the moment, usually.
2 liter growler.
2 liter growler.
It is true though. I think we're
It's a
making
deep
that's
growler.
what they're called, right?
1.25 liter. Or sometimes called a rigger as well.
Yes, a rigger. That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so I've just looked up the create water spell, right? You can create up to 10 gallons, but you can upcast it to create more.
Oh.
So when you cast it using 2nd level or higher, you can get an additional 10 gallons.
Oh,
And so each slot up, you get an additional 10 gallons.
so
Oh,
a
wow.
9th level create water will be 90 gallons.
Damn. That's all right. Is it magical water or is it just real
100
water?
gallons.
100
It's just normal water.
Okay.
You can either create it or destroy it.
Okay, cool. By the way, since we quickly moved from day 2, where the zombie attack happened, through day 3 and day 4, so we're in day 4 at the moment. Americans' divinations for day 2, 2 and 3 have shown no signs. Oh well, obviously there was made mention of there being more attacks from the north from zombies, and that came true. On the 3rd day, when you asked, there was no response. I said that there was no response in regards to an attack. So this woman at the gates isn't seeming like it was sent by Strahd. So I should probably mention that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Well, we should kill her as a preemptive measure.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I might have to start thinking about heading off, folks.
Yep. No, that's all good. We'll be back at the same time. I think it's long. You guys all good for Labor Day shenanigans next week? It's next week, right?
Was it next week?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If we're all,
Yeah.
Probably.
if we're all
I took
good.
the Friday off, 4-day weekend. Thanks very much.
Nice.
Boom.
Nice.
Nice.
But we should be back same time next week for more training montage, which there are some. I think, some very, very cool shit scheduled for the next few days. And I'll have to continue scheduling.
Nice. This is a nice... I liked it. Let's just leave it at that.
Cool. That's good. Bit of combat and some...
Away with words.
Yeah. Oh, that was touching, man. That was really touching.
Let's just leave it at that. All right.
I didn't outright despise it.
Good, thank you. I'm just putting some links.
Let's move on.
Up in the chat. There's our link for our Discord, and there's a link for our YouTube where you can see all of our previous stuff. If you like what we do, please do support us over on the Patreon. There is a link there as well. Or subscribe here. If you've got Amazon Prime, then you've got Twitch Prime. It's a free sub to us. Won't cost you a thing. And it would support us and mean a lot to us. And if you really like this shirt, which is super cool, or you like the cool mug and stuff, we've got that sort of stuff available just under the stream too. So feel free to support us in those ways as well. Something for everyone. But we'll see you guys next week at the same time. Thanks for stopping
Get well soon, Random.
Yeah, Random. I don't know if you
Yeah,
managed
get
to
well
stay
soon.
through that whole thing.
This should help.
Get well soon.
Now I'm sick.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night.